We are live, so
Hey.
let's get started.
Hey.
Hello,
That's
everybody.
fancy.
We
Look
are,
at that.
yeah.
Are we
So
looking at the new?
yeah, it's really nice.
Looks good.
Throck made this background for us. Very, very nice. All
Shout
right.
out.
So this is Mimic Nights. This is Welcome to the Party, and we're going to be playing a kind of mid-campaign boss thing. It's this big war that we've been working up to for a long time now. I'm very, very excited, and we also have a very special guest who's right down below. Hi.
Hello.
So let's do a introduction of everybody, who you are and who you're playing as. Griff, you'll probably maybe want to save some of your introductions for when your character actually shows up.
Yeah.
But just who you are and all that, and we'll do the plugs at the very end. So, Onisama-chan, I can actually say it now.
Oh yeah.
You're
okay,
up first.
That's me. And I play Win Brunhald, the dwarven cleric.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Woo. Okay, you're next.
Capjack, you're up.
Hey everybody, I'm Capjack and I'm playing Lucian, the Tiefling Warlock.
Beautiful.
And Griff, what do you do?
My name is Griffin or Griff, either work. We'll be playing Shiloh, the half-elven cleric warlock. So a mixture of the last two, but a different race. Also, I'm a guest here. I'm not
Yes.
usually around these parts.
Mets. We cannot hear you.
Uh-oh.
Mesh the
So
mutant.
muted. Like, so
Mets
muted.
Mute girl.
There?
Mutes girl.
Ha.
No, we cannot. We cannot hear you.
This mimic is
So,
muted.
Fan, why don't you go and do that while Mets figures out her mic? Woo.
Ooh,
Hello.
something happened.
Hi, sorry. I'm
Oh,
Oh,
back.
there we go.
Okay,
That was terrifying.
Mets.
Sorry, I unplugged it and plugged it back in, like every good service desk person should know how to do. I am Kim, Mets girl in the chat and in the Twitters, and tonight I'm playing Denise, the also half elf. Woo! But I am a druid.
And Fan, who's
Hi.
definitely still a Mimic Knight.
Yeah, apparently I am still a mimic
Despite
knight for now,
rumors.
despite rumors of my demise. Okay, so cool. I'm Dan Rand, and I blame Kronk, the F-Orc barbarian.
All right, so
Ah,
at the conclusion of the last session, all three of the major clans of Wild's people had been united loosely underneath a single tattered banner. The Mimic Knights have been recollected and gone back to the Mimic King's castle, his castle, where you're to reconvene with him, final preparations, and just make sure that the plan is understood by everyone.
Yeah, because I wasn't here, so if we talked about like a plan, rules and stuff.
I
then
think so far the working plan is win, like
It's
not
win.
lose.
I
I think,
intend to
Possibly fight.
survive.
yeah, that's
Don't die.
yeah.
Kill them, don't die.
Yes, kill the other.
Those words.
All right, so the Mimic Knights, the four Mimic Knights, are gathered in the Mimic King's throne room. He's seated upon his throne. Maggie, the at this point 2-3 week old beholder, is over floating in the corner.
Can she
My
like
daughter.
hurt people, and would we want her to?
No, she is a pure innocent cinnamon bun.
I mean, yeah, but so am I. Right?
Denise, what did you name the dark elf last session? Because the NPC that I dropped in, you named instead of me naming it.
Stacy.
Stacy,
Oh,
was
yeah,
that it?
Stacy.
Yeah, Stacy. She's off flanking the Mimic King's other side, and the dark ceiling indicates that the keeper is observing. He's present.
Cool. Nice. That's a good command.
Excellent.
That's good.
And the Mimic King stands to address the four of you.
Should we salute or something?
That's up to you.
Team Crossbones. Wait a minute.
I am.
We can
I
do a
have no
K
salute.
for Mimic Knights. Sup,
Sure.
sup, dude.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Are you ready?
We
Well,
should
good thing
probably
you're
do
not
a
a mimic
certain level
knight.
Oh,
Oh,
Burn.
dang.
I believe we should be doing a bit of planning so that we,
Yes.
Are we gonna get one of those maps where we've got like the little thingies that indicate
and you have to-
troops, and we
yeah,
like
and
push
then
them
just
around
make-
with those little?
Oh, do we get
hookers?
toys? I love playing with toys.
First,
Mimic,
It's like
create
Battle
battle
of
map.
Westmont.
first,
It's just like Civilization.
I have been contacted by a acquaintance of mine. And they are sending an ally to help you.
Oh.
Those are good.
One ally.
This one is worth it.
And a
I'm hoping for like full armies of allies, but that's
This ally is here, and you are to help them just as much as they are going to help you. Please.
is this ally a chieftain?
I don't believe so, but
Okay,
I
I'll
don't
drink it. That's
know.
okay.
You can go to the plaza before we continue the meeting and pick them up.
Escort.
Yes.
Okay.
Please make a
All right.
good impression.
Denise goes to the fountain.
Oh, dear God.
So the four Mimic Knights go to the plaza room, which has it's sort of a central plaza space, like in the middle of a town, but it's in the middle of a castle. It's got a fountain in the middle with some benches arranged around it, and doorways off to different hallways.
And a
And-
half elf in the fountain, apparently.
Yes, and a half-elf Denise in the fountain.
Frolicking.
Oh, dear
I can't resist a fountain. Sorry. Not sorry.
Hard to resist a good frolic.
And the Mimic Knights begin to feel a kind of rush of magic, even those who are not particularly attuned or
So you
what's
mean
it, sensitive to magic feel it. So it is
Yeah.
a
Feels like
Even Trump
indigestion.
can feel it.
even Crunk can feel it. It's a strong rush of magic coalescing and forming a small gate, just ripping open for just a second, and out steps Shiloh.
Is that what we do?
No, that is not what you do. That is not how you teleport.
We just kind of plop down.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It just
Shiloh, you have equally been informed as much. You have allies here. They work with an acquaintance as well.
All right.
Okay. Welcome, and I like go to shake his hand.
Her first off.
Her hand. Sorry.
Yeah, why don't
I
we get a
guess
description?
Yeah. So stepping out of the
My
portal,
bad.
that's okay. Stepping out of the portal, you see a half-elven woman. Her head is freshly shaved, no hair. She bears long scars, one single scar down either cheek. Her skin is also like watery blue, like an aqua blue. She wears sort of a mixture of adventurer's gear, but like almost ceremonial. She has a long like waistcoat with a very high collar up the back that is like padded in black. And there is a large book lashed to a belt on her side. And she sort of steps out and just I'm never gonna get used to that. Huh.
Welcome.
Greetings.
Okay, and then I try and
Hi.
shake her hand.
And hello. Pleasure.
By the call, would you like something to drink?
I'm quite alright, thank you. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that you're the people who I'm supposed to meet. Allies?
I believe that's
Sure,
what
yeah.
the king said. My name is Lucian. This is
Lucian.
Win, pointing to the one that tried to shake your hand. This is Crunk, pointing at the one that is Crunk
Very
shaped.
large.
And this is Denise, pointing at the one in the fountain.
Splash, splash, splash. Hi! Do you like to play in the
Greetings.
fountain?
Perhaps in a moment. And she taps head to her hand to her forehead and gives a very low bow, very graceful, very ceremonial. And my name is Shiloh Eo, and I believe you're the people that I'm meant to find.
Pleasure to have you with us,
Okay.
Shiloh.
Oh,
You
Interesting
show up on an
pick.
auspicious day.
There's a king I heard tell of.
Yes, let's go find the Mimic King.
All right.
Denise, come on, we're leaving.
Aw, okay.
It's okay, we'll frolic later. It's okay.
if you want,
In-
we can skip.
Okay. Do you want to skip with me?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So we're gonna start skipping towards the castle.
Arm in arm.
All right, so
Shiloh watches very, very bemusedly.
Shiloh, if you want, you can roll Arcana.
All right.
Just real fast.
That'll be 14.
Yeah, you note that the castle itself isn't making much geographic sense. As you
Ah, neat.
proceed through each door, each room seems to be entirely isolated from all other rooms attached to it. You go from this room with the plaza and the fountain into a room that like has windows, and then immediately from there into a room that you're sure is like 3 stories underground, and then the next room is this grandiose, tall-ceilinged throne room.
Huh.
Hmm.
Your castle is strange.
Thank you.
Strangely awesome.
Why, thank you.
We
I
have
would
another
actually
one.
agree with that. Strangely awesome.
Sitting on the throne, you see a humanoid being that doesn't hold exactly a solid shape, continually kind of shifts slightly from one form to another, but generally holds currently the shape of basically Ganondorf, like a tall, bronze-skinned humanoid with
Sure.
pointy chin and ears.
All right. All right. I presume that I have been made aware of this individual prior to my travel.
This is
Your intelligence indicates that yes, this is the person, although you've never like in person seen the person, like, but you're
Fair enough.
sure
This is
the dude.
the fact that he's
This is
sitting
the
on the
dude.
throne in the throne room kind of gives it away. I would think.
I will march a few steps ahead of the group, and I reach out my hand and grasp, and a pickaxe appears in my hand.
Ooh,
And I will
that's a
set
neat
it
trick.
head down, take a knee, bow my head, and say, "My liege, I am High Seeker and First Priestess of Mahavir Shiloh. I have been sent to your world to recover something incredibly important to mine."
Can I just
And-
interject and say that every time you've said the last name, it has cut out the sound for
It
me
has.
for some reason?
Okay, yeah.
That's fun. Eolus.
Eolus.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't know. I thought it was this whole like cannot be
I thought it
known
was just
kind of
me.
thing.
I thought you were doing it on purpose almost.
Shiloh.
So
Your
real
ears
quick,
would translate it.
Okay, sorry.
someone generous in the chat has given 500 bits, which means that Shiloh will get advantage. So any roll at any point, you can choose to spend that advantage and roll at advantage when you normally shouldn't be able to. Secondly, the Mimic King stands up and says, "Welcome, friend of my friend."
I will stand back up. Now, as I have said, there's something very precious that's been taken from my people. And I was sent here promised allies. And Shiloh kind of looks to the group behind her a little bit. I gather that these are meant to be allies.
Yes. Our objectives have aligned perfectly.
Lovely. And Shiloh will 180 to face you all, bow her head again. Then it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance and to fight alongside you. And we'll cross her, seeing Krunk do that, we'll cross the pickaxe across her chest and bow again. And just, pickaxe disappears.
What is exactly you're searching for?
That's a curious question. I'm wondering if... I can only tell you what I know about it. It may have picked up some other names as it's traveled across various worlds. To my people, it's called the Font. It is a crystal, a gemstone, that is capable of producing endless amounts of water.
Ooh.
And where I'm from, and our city in the middle of a desert as far as the eye can see, something like that is our lifeblood. That keeps my city alive.
Makes sense.
Ah.
Understandable. Interesting.
And through the grand graces of Mahavir, the piercing truth, he who knows one, he has provided me the ability to travel and chase the traitor who took it from my city.
Hmm.
I see.
Okay, cool.
Let
Don't
us
like traitors.
plan. And the Mimic King waves his hand, and the back half of the room, so the half opposite from where the Mimic King's throne is, just peels back, each brick individually unraveling itself and pulling apart and reforming so that it is now a balcony overlooking the valley that is in front of the Mimic King's castle. Out there you can see two armies pitching themselves ready to battle.
Wait, this is in front of the Mimic King's castle and not our castle?
No, you were on his castle.
Interesting. Okay.
I thought it was pretty far.
It is far.
This is like television.
Can we see our castle?
Yes, you can see very tiny
Oh,
little
okay,
speck.
got it.
You can see your castle way out there, and you can see the armies that have gathered around your castle and the armies that are gathering and preparing themselves to go against your armies. Hidden
Right.
amongst the leadership of the cities is your man, Shiloh.
All right. Didn't really expect to fumble my way into a full-scale war, but here we are.
Oopsie
All right.
What do you know of your traitor?
It happens.
Well, he is a resident of my city, the Ninth City. He, how do I put this lightly, shares my complexion. His name is Archael.
Oh.
He is gifted in the arcane arts,
Oh.
and he's a traitorous fuck.
Oh. We don't
Yes,
like
I've heard
traitors.
of him.
That is not my favorite kind of fuck, I can promise you.
He's the
You and I are gonna get to
Ew.
know.
It would not have been as funny if you hadn't laughed as hard as you did.
I had hoped for a more intelligent and tactful war. But unfortunately, the cities have approached, and there is very little tactics left other than to drive our force against theirs as they do the same and best them.
All right. Well then.
So how do we give ourselves an advantage in this scenario?
Well,
It can be stealthy.
I do have some gifts at my disposal. I can
I do
fight.
love you.
I am a gifted caster as well, and am no stranger to patching up wounds. And I also have my Lord Mahavir at my beck and call. A few times a day. If there's something that you wish to know, I can always ask. And he who knows 1,000,000 things, it's likely in his purview.
Interesting.
When you approach the enemy, I think the most important thing is to take out their leadership.
Of course.
Their soldiers are almost exclusively mercenaries.
Hmm.
When the leadership that pays them is dissolved, they will dissolve as well.
We can pay them.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, you must cut through their army with a tactful scalpel to reach their leadership.
What if I just rode on top of Maggie and then she like floated over everybody, and then we just like landed on the guy, like on top of him?
Then you'd be in
Sure.
the middle, surrounded by a bunch of people that would take.
Yeah, but
kind of-
I'd take out their leader, and then they'd be like, "Oh well, he's not gonna pay us now, so whatever."
take
And
him
then
out
they'd go
one
home,
shot.
right?
Arkai
I will
El
say that's a
will
good-
be with them.
Hmm.
He will guard them. As far as I'm aware, that is the deal that he has made with them.
Yeah, that
Yeah, but
sounds
we
about
could
right.
fight one blue guy.
Ooh. Oh.
You said he's blue, right?
Aye?
Yeah, we can fight him, right?
Not
Take him
on your
out,
own.
but-
I don't care what color he is.
The five of you together, I think, have a mighty chance.
Well,
But
okay,
one
we'll send
alone?
in Crunk first, and then Maggie will go back and get us each one at a time, and then eventually we'll be fine, right?
Win.
Well-
You have an excellent idea. I mean, you have an excellent idea. But instead of over the air, why don't we go under the ground instead?
Let's just put a pin in it.
Okay.
Underground.
I like it there.
Remember when the last tribe we visited, their first messenger, the mole.
Oh,
Oh.
Yes.
yeah.
That is a proper plan. Burrowing underneath. Are any
then
of
we can just
you
make like a
experienced in that? Win, I know that your people are somewhat
We dig.
focused in that. Yes.
yeah.
I just recall the pickaxe.
I think we can do this.
I
Back
think
before-
We also
It might
have
take a
a
while.
legion of your kinfolk.
That's true. If we could get them here.
Oh, yes.
We have a plaza.
If you look very carefully, and a out of his flesh forms a metal telescope that he sets down on the railing of the balcony.
He just flexes that out. He's just like,
Yeah, no, and then it just turns into like it has no, it doesn't look like it's made of flesh or anything. It just looks like a regular like fine telescope. If you look carefully, the dwarves have gathered, and the elves as well. Your allies are ready for battle.
Lovely.
Yay.
I
like
will
battle.
Who's
observe.
up for game of misdirection?
I observe from the
Oh.
from the sidelines, and I will intervene if things become desperate.
Aye, sure.
so you're saying that your lord will just like answer you at your beck and call?
I try not to overextend myself, but
I'm just
he
looking
grants
at
me
the-
knowledge when I am in need of it.
While he's answering that, I'm just staring at the Mimic King.
Lucian's like gesturing to the Mimic King at the same time, like, yes?
Though I may appear it at times, I am not truly a god.
Ah,
That would explain some things.
We can fix that, right? We can make you a.
Let us go to the plaza and begin your journey.
Yay!
Right. So
Lead the
before
way,
we do that, a bit
companions.
of planning.
As
Do you
we
like
walk.
to skip, Shiloh? And I hold out my arm.
I'm gonna roll something. I'm gonna roll charisma to see how whimsical. 16. I'm pretty whimsical. And I'll extend my arm.
A dignified skip.
Also, Lucian would like to know if he's heard of this ninth city.
You can roll.
What would I roll?
Is history still a thing? I forget.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
certainly.
So that's still a thing in 5th? Yeah. Roll that,
Not
please.
for Kronk, but yes.
Oh, this will be great because I have a great plus. Oh, right, 0. Oh, but still, actually.
14. You can almost certainly say no. Like, not only that you haven't heard of it, like, you've generally researched cities and politics and anything relevant in that area, and that definitely does not exist in this valley, and it's not like has never had contact with any of the cities you've ever known. You can be 100% sure of that.
Oh, Interesting. Right.
Let us
So I guess
plan as we
they're skipping as they go.
walk.
I am, how do you say, not from around here.
I'm gathering. How far away are you from?
It's not something you can really measure in terms of miles. It's more measuring. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Length between stars?
Light
Interesting.
years?
I don't think that's a thing Swin knows about.
We just invented light years.
Kronk thinks about
That's
it.
what you described!
So
It's like,
is everyone where
So it's
you're
a
from
different
blue like
planet.
you?
Not everyone. Vast majority of people in my city are. You see, the font is interesting. It produces endless amounts of water, yes, but the water is arcanely created. It is, by the letter of things, unnatural. It possesses certain side effects. The font has been improved, and we've made advancements in magics over the years, and it has negated a lot of those side effects. Normally, if people try to survive in the desert off of things artificially created by magic, they turn insane.
Oh.
Their skin devolves to this color, and they slowly lose their minds. But the font is different. The font allows us to live.
Oh.
Most people outside of the city think that we're all savages, but we like to keep to ourselves anyway, so it plays in our favor, really.
I can understand wanting to stay away from people.
Yeah,
Especially when they see you
definitely.
with blue skin and want to kill you on sight.
Oh, but you're so pretty.
And just keeps walking. Smiling, but just...
Skipping.
It's like,
So
I know,
Lucian.
don't worry.
Lucian looks down at his very red skin and goes like, eh.
yeah, I'm looking at my green skin and I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
Misdirection. What is your plan?
So we have dwarves and elves sharing an encampment, which is not something I'm sure the cities have seen anytime recently. What
Not
if they had a
militarily.
very large fight. They had a big fight. Dwarves declared they would never fight with elves. And then they leave into the tunnels that we dig, and then they will come up behind the enemy as they charge.
I believe that is a proper plan.
I will say, gifted as I am in the ways of knowledge and history, tactics is not my specialty. So, this seems to be your department. Whatever you think is best. I believe that Providence awaits us one way or the other.
All
I'll be
right.
ready to follow your lead.
Like I always say, just show me what to smash.
I like him.
Krug is excellent.
like you.
He is a good chieftain for us.
So arriving back at the plaza, the Mimic King says to Lucian, "Please let me borrow your amulet."
Of course. Hands over the
He
amulet.
grabs it, and he's going to use it to transport you all to the plaza in the Mimic Knight's castle, boosting it with a little magic of his to make it instantaneous.
Ew.
Nice.
And then,
Fast
Hour-long
travel.
ritual.
yes, they have fast travel in this game. Literally save points, basically, in this game.
So good.
It's basically a video game. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So arriving into a room that looks almost identical,
What happened?
the Mimic King hands the
You get used to it. It's okay.
amulet back to Lucian and conjures up basically a very, very fancy lawn chair and sets himself up outside the castle to observe the upcoming battles.
Choice. With an iced tea off to the side and a magazine.
Little umbrella over him
Yeah,
to keep the sun out.
Excellent.
All right, so when I assume you let the dwarves know the plan. So actually, real quick,
yeah.
to specify specifically to Win and Denise, Win, 500 of your dwarven kinsmen have come to this battle. No one was forced to join this battle. It was purely coming to join and aid their kin. So it was a voluntary march of 500 dwarves to join you. Denise, very similar case. It was a voluntary call to arms, and 500 elves showed up to help as well.
Yay!
Krunk, Scout has
Yes.
showed up.
Oh, hey.
Scout?
Scout is this little. It looks
Oh
like
yeah, that's
My
right.
little scout.
looks like an elf made out of like glowy air, with like leaves
Yeah,
floating
I
around
watched,
her.
I
It's
went back and watched the episode.
a forest spirit,
Nice.
which
She's
is
very pretty.
yeah, has taken a liking to Krunk, and will be joining in the fight to help you.
Oh.
However,
They get
she's
armies and I get.
not very into like how you do actual warfare, so she's going to stay with Krunk, and on his turn in combat might just give a helping hand, because she doesn't
Okay,
really
that seems
understand
fair.
actual warfare.
No, I wouldn't imagine.
How do punch?
Yes, as well, Krunk, you have all of the armies of the Wildsmen of the Plains here to help you. What do you tell them before you guys are gonna start fighting?
Oh no.
You have to give a rousing speech, man. Did you forget your?
I was
index
not
card?
prepared for this.
You've had in-world, like, I don't know, what, 3 months?
Yeah.
Even longer out of world.
But Krunk doesn't think about this shit.
No, obviously not.
Hi. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the war.
Is this thing on?
We're gonna smash a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you smash all the things, but don't die, because that's bad. And yeah.
You sound like me.
Hey,
God.
can you roll basically a charisma save for me?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a nat 20.
Ah!
What? Love me.
What?
I know how to talk to. They're not your people. They're my people. I know. How to talk to you.
Fair. Do your thing.
He knows how to get to the soul of his people.
Which is basically after realizing that he has fumbled the entire speech, he just yells really, really, really loud at everyone.
It's like that scene in A Knight's Tale where it's
Yes.
like this big speech and the one
Yeah.
guy just goes,
It's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
uh,
Perfect. So,
And I'm sorry.
in view of the daylight, the dwarves and elves pretend to argue and bicker and even trade a few minor blows, and the dwarves sulk in their camp. And during the cover of night, they disappear underground, looking as if they have abandoned this fight. They set up almost like a small cave network under the ground, not very deep, but a space where they can hide their entire army, where the dire moles that the savages have brought to help dig, where the Mimic Knights and everyone and Shiloh can wait there to do their infiltration mission once the battle starts.
I want to find my mother.
Yes, you can find your mom. She is leading up, acting as kind of a general for a major portion of the Wildsman army. Hello. Good boy.
Hello, Mom.
That's my kind of speech there.
Yeah, it was bad, but that's okay. You don't have to patronize me. I learned that word. I don't really know what it means, but it sounded
I
appropriate.
didn't teach him about patrons, I swear.
When in Rome. Anyway, I want you to punch me in the face really hard.
Right.
Really, really hard. Like, make it real.
What's your AC?
16.
Okay, yeah, she hits you.
I drop to the ground. How much damage do I take, by the way?
That would be 10.
10.
It's an amazing punch. She rolled really good.
Is where I get it from. I drop to the ground like, oh, you got me good. I guess you're the chieftain now. Oh. And then I take my chieftain thing and I give it back to her.
Aww.
And I say, I'm going to be in more danger than you, and I don't want to leave the tribe without the chieftain. So I want you to have it back.
Aww.
Like I said, good boy.
Don't fuck it up. Look at all the people I got for you. There's like way more people than there used to be for you. So be good to them.
Yes. So before the actual battle, you get enough time to heal up, so don't worry about. Oh, actually, yeah, you heal up. You're fine.
Yeah, I took. Well, I had temporary hit points. I just lost. them.
Right. Yeah. So.
I'm not. Krunk is not worried.
Fine, I won't heal you. God.
Oh
So,
no, don't have to spend us.
Mortimer, the little, gargoyle-looking mimic,
Yes.
sits down in front of the Mimic
Scout.
Knights and says, I will be scouting out, be your eyes above while you're here underground.
Excellent.
Oh.
I just need some blood from the new one so I can share my sight.
Oh yes, let them bite your hand.
Oh, absolutely.
And so it just
This
takes
is not the weirdest shit that I've been exposed to.
so
It gets weirder. It's okay.
bites and takes a little bit of blood and then tests it, and you for a moment can see through its eyes as it observes all of you and then turns it off.
It's a little
Very
dizzying
well.
sometimes, but
It's a bit of a trip.
it's worse when you're like in the same room as
Mortimer.
it.
Yes, it is a bit odd. Mortimer, keep yourself safe this time.
Yes, I will fly very high this time.
Good.
But not so high that you can't see anything either.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Like in a medium
anything
distance.
anyone wants to
I give
do
him a little
before
smooch on his nice little forehead. Mwah.
Aw.
Here's what you're looking for. You're looking for the ones on their side giving the order.
Yes.
Find them for us, and then we'll crush them.
We'll smash them into bits.
All right.
So smash them.
So anything before the battle starts, or are we ready to kick it off?
I've got a small thing. Shiloh will find a quiet spot in the tunnels. She will unlash the book on her belt and lay it out, flipping through some of the pages of all the secrets that Mahavir has granted her over the years. And then we'll summon the pick and just kind of embed it into the ground right above where the book is laid out. The book being a symbol of her deity, the pickaxe being a symbol of her celestial patron, Venrir. And we'll just flip to an empty page in the book and pray and meditate. And I would like to expend one of my special ability things.
So what skill are you doing this on?
This will be history, and
Okay.
this is she asks, Mahavir, he who knows 1,000,000 things, grant me a fragment of your knowledge. Who is in charge? Why is he in charge? Basically, I want to know who their leader is and some of his strengths.
The world goes black for a moment as you begin to see in a vision of a man overweight and unhealthy. An older guy, but not too old as to be completely decrepit. And then you see a line as if spiderweb creep out in multiple directions out of him and link up with other individuals. And very soon you're surrounded by many old men, many young up-and-comers, almost all of them appearing to you like bankers and wealthy influencers and politicians.
Influencers. Oh.
Ugh. Don't forget to like,
And the way
comment, and subscribe.
and the way I see it is as part of the vision as well. This information sort of just materializes in the book.
Yes.
That she carries with her.
Yeah,
and
so
so
primarily you're given just a list of names.
Yeah.
Um,
So she'll close the book. All right. He's not a fighter. Good for me. Less to get in the way. And we'll get up and kind of wander back to either the knights or the dwarven army and just sort of apropos of nothing announce, would anyone like to join me in prayer before we go out? Standing offer. And we'll just kind of walk over into and start just set up a little ceremony.
I'm
And
pretty
whether
sure
she
my
has-
brethren don't pray to the same person.
Yeah, no, the dwarves, they're we're about to start prayer, but we're about to pray to our great granddad, so
You're fine. Don't worry about it. I'll be over here.
I think Denise might be curious
long
enough to
shit.
walk over and be like, prayer to who?
And we'll just kind of, I don't know, rummage out a few candles, light up a very small area, and to anyone who is there, honestly, just preach a small sermon about Mahavir and the knowledge he is granted and the magic that he has bestowed upon the people of the Ninth City to grant life, and so on and so on and so on. Just doing her due diligence as a priestess.
Oh, Lucian would be there too because he can't
Yeah.
resist knowledge.
Krunk would be there because you guys are there.
I'm probably
She's
with
just
whoever's
like taking
closest
notes,
to me and my
basically.
family.
Mm-hmm.
some of the elves would observe, kind of standoffish, just like, what is this stuff? You see that they're very naturalistic, they abhor cutting down a tree to make a house, so they use magic to make homes. Like, they're like,
Sure.
what is all this stuff? This is very interesting person.
This is some otherworldly religion.
Yes.
Basically.
Old
I gotta
legend.
disperse these seeds across the multiverse.
Which I'm sure you have.
Oh yeah,
On
I got
your
some
way
job to
here.
do. I was a preacher once and was exiled for it. Nah, this is my life. I got a congregation to build.
Awesome. Why don't you roll? Do you have a charisma skill you specifically think would apply?
Probably persuasion.
Yeah. Why don't you do that?
That'll be a 19 total.
Uh,
I want to roll against this.
okay.
I just,
Oh,
I just, I
no.
just, I just,
Yeah,
I just
wanna see.
straight up, 1 for 1. Okay, yep.
yeah, you got an 8. That's
Fully,
not.
I'm a full acolyte of this religion now.
Oh, no.
I am like
That's another.
drinking the juice.
Drinking the pun.
I am all about it.
Drinking that sweet, sweet knowledgey Kool-Aid.
You're like,
I don't know what the
rolled
fuck
around.
is going on, but I feel it.
The elves observe it in kind of a. They're interested in an academic sense.
Oh, that's fine.
Not religious in any way, but very academically interested. The dwarves are not paying attention because they're off doing their own thing.
Which I think Shiloh kind of appreciates because this is a knowledge deity. Like academic appreciation is halfway there in her mind.
Yeah. All right, so just in case, you get another long rest before we start this fight, and we're gonna start this fight.
Let's start this fight.
Just real quick,
And we're in a
how
castle.
many enemy soldiers are we up against?
Thousands.
Mortimer takes a look, and the lineup is about 3,000 mercenary troops. They have
Nothing.
given up, like purposefully excluded any form of cavalry, and are almost entirely ground troops.
Okay.
Who has chain lightning?
Wait,
Oh, whoa.
who's just ground
No
troops?
cavalry. That's concerning.
You can see the 500 troops of elves off over on the what would be eastern side of your flanked army, or of the eastern flank of your army. The main bulk of the force is made up of the savage tribes, numbering something about 5,000 troops. A
They
very
don't look at all concerned.
disorganized mob, but they're there. And
Well, I mean, during the long rest time, I think Lucian wants to give the tribe generals like a quick tactics tutorial.
yeah, that's
Luck.
Okay.
we can say that you did that like before this session even began. There was an interim space
yeah.
of all the enemy armies lining up and stuff. It's been like maybe a week actually in universe since the last session.
Yeah.
So you had time to prep that. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Why don't you what skill do you think is appropriate for that, for training wildsmen to do tactics?
Deception.
Just Okay, yeah,
Because
roll
that's
that.
more or less what he's teaching them.
Yeah.
Is how to look like all messy and disorganized while actually not being.
Yeah, okay. Why don't you do that for me?
26?
A 26. Yeah, okay.
Little
And they
tiny
get a
drunken
decent
master
on their intelligence to actually pick up what you're saying. You know for a fact that some of their leaders didn't get it. But
yeah.
some of them totally did. Yeah. The
Good.
the mounted tribesmen specifically seem to have actually a pretty good handle on tactics, and the best ones are the tradesmen savages. They are great at tactics actually, because they literally can, if someone's not getting in line, they can throw stuff at them and make them line up, and so they're actually in an actual military formation,
damn.
or at least some of them are.
Well, no, they wouldn't be intentionally.
Okay, but it looks messy, but they are designed in an organized way where they've got their toughest guys in front to like break the front line, and they've got striker people right behind them. Yeah, okay. So let's get this started. The city's organized mercenaries begin to march across the field, and the wildsmen begin to charge forward. The elves begin to do their best to sneak with 500 people, kind of just inching around the flank.
Just like we're behind us.
And
Don't mind us.
Maybe they would be like
over here.
interdispersed in with the
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're hiding
With the
amongst
tradesmen.
amongst the
yeah.
savages. Okay, so then Mortimer's eyes are momentarily blinded by a flash of bright blue light that appears in the sky. Shiloh, you can specifically see this light originating from a specific point as you're all seeing through his eyes. He is flying way high in the sky, and you can see this point where this light is coming out and forming into a pillar of light in the center of the battlefield. It stretches, it feels infinitely into the sky and touches down on the ground. It begins to expand in all directions. And where it expands, this grassy, smooth, level plains begins to change. Not just like morphed, but as if being just straight up replaced with sandy desert.
Ooh.
Uh-ohs.
And it expands
What the hell?
rapidly, opening up and changing all immediate terrain into a sandy desert.
But
And
the
a
plants.
final clap of light.
Motherfucker.
And in the sky appears the walled off ninth city, falling from the sky to crash into the earth.
What?
What?
They just threw a city at us?
We just went full anime here.
City.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Shiloh.
damn, wait a-
What
a weird
is
flex,
seen
bro, but
of Shiloh?
okay.
What are the dwarves and the savages near you see? You see your city plummeting to the earth.
And like I'm seeing through this like gargoyle's eyes,
Yes.
right? I think she just stops dead in her tracks and is just gesturing to the sky that's not actually above her. It's like, what is this?
And then
What?
a streak of black lightning comes from your side of the battlefield. From a little fancy lawn chair. As the Mimic King splits apart into black streaks of fluid matter that become pillars that keep the city from crashing to the ground, slowing its descent
Wow.
and holding it in midair, gently, slowly reducing its speed and bringing it towards the ground gently.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the clock.
all right,
What?
should we do our thing
Alright,
now
this
then?
is a city
that-
battle now. This is fascinating.
That is my city. There are lots of people in there that don't want to their deaths. Let's do this.
Yeah, we
Oh,
might want to.
So wait, now there is a city in between the two.
No, because it is still in midair. The
above
Mimic King is holding it in the air, keeping it from hitting the ground.
Because
He
it's
is
above.
he is slowing it
great.
down like Superman, just slowing it down. So you guys have to get across the battlefield,
before
but
it
all of the
hits
terrain that you guys are in
sand.
gets affected by the change, and immediately everyone please make me constitution saves as the tunnels turn into sand and collapse down on top of you.
That
That's a problem.
was a mistake.
Can I argue advantage? Because this is familiar territory.
Yes, I totally yes.
Oh,
Looking like I don't have. No, it's dexterity. Damn it.
All right.
It was a wisdom thing.
Oh, no.
God.
how did I outroll you?
19. Bam.
So what did Shiloh get?
That's only a 12 for me.
Oh, okay. So we get an 11 from Win and a 9 from Crunk. But Lucian and Denise both get 19, so they pass. This is you're not going to take an immediate penalty, but if you fail the next one, you will take a level of exhaustion. The dire moles and the dwarves begin to try and dig themselves out. Win, you can roll this next check, which is a strength save at advantage, and Shiloh, you can roll it at advantage as well. The rest of you, everyone, please roll strength saves to try and get yourself out of the sand.
Oh, hell.
Frick.
15.
13.
Oh, my God.
My two best things.
18.
18, very nice. Okay, so we get Crunk with a 13 and Win with a 13 both fail to pull themselves out. But Lucian with an 18, Denise with an 18, and Shiloh with a 18 as well.
Yes.
Managed to pull themselves out, not all the way, but your head is out of the sand.
Mm-hmm.
And the
TPK.
savage the savage army that
Killed my
is
sand.
beginning to run past you. You feel the thunder as your entire army runs past, nearly stomping on your heads many times. And a couple of them, being the tradesmen savages, reach down and yank those who have pulled themselves out of the earth. Those who have failed to pull themselves out, please roll me another con save.
There we go.
There we go.
Cool. Than keeps from exhaustion, from suffocation under sand. Win does not. Win is going to take
No.
1 level exhaustion, which means you have disadvantage on all skill checks.
Why me?
Those who are still under there can please roll another strength save. Win at advantage. And the rest of you are pulled up.
Oh wait.
Nope, yeah, a
thank-
20 and an 18 gets both of you out. You're now out of the sand and standing
Kick my own ass.
in the straight up middle of the battle as the armies just about 50 feet forward clash into each other in the middle of the desert that is just formed.
All right.
You never mentioned they could make it. They could turn all this to sand.
Everyone,
To be fair, I didn't know that they could.
Shiloh at advantage. Everyone, please roll me perception checks. Win, be aware you're exhausted, so at level 1, so you get a disadvantage on this. Total of a 20 from Lucian, a 5 from Croak. Man, you're just rolling garbage today.
I'm
wasted
sorry, I
my
took
crit
all
on
of your good
bullshit.
dice.
22 for Shiloh.
22. Oh, that's perfect. Win
It's a
gets a
good
total of an
speech, right?
8. And Denise gets an 18, a very wonderful 18. You would have succeeded anyway with your absurd passive.
Thank you.
So, Lucian, Denise, and Shiloh feel the sand begin to shift a bit. You sink just a slight bit as all of the sand is vibrated. Shiloh, you know what this is. Denise and Lucian have an inclination that there's something big underneath the sand. Coming towards this area.
And I'm
Yeah, we
still
need
just,
to
like
move.
hacking.
What?
I'm just like standing there like
What is it?
water.
Nothing great. We
No,
should
very
scatter.
specifically, what is it?
We should scatter.
Shiloh, you know that this is some form of purple worm.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, it's Dune. Like we're in Dune. Sand snake, sandworm. Depends on your upbringing. We should run.
Denise, this is your turf.
Yeah, well, no, not really. I'm used to forests. I'm not familiar with deserts.
Walk and
Well,
talk.
look at your
people, walk and
friend.
talk.
Right?
Yeah, so
Worm.
do you follow Shiloh as Shiloh guides you away from where the shaking is?
Yeah.
You all follow. Okay, wonderful. As you get away, a giant purple worm bursts out of the earth and consuming 2 of the wildsmen there, and then following it within pretty much the entire kind of central area of these dunes, a total of maybe 50 of them burst out around you, indiscriminately consuming soldiers on both sides. Shiloh, you would know that these are not regular these are not regular purple worms. These are elder purple worms that have gotten so big that some people of the plain of the dunes use them as vehicles because you can be inside of them.
Some worms are bigger than others. It's okay.
We gotta go.
Yeah. So why don't you? So are you all gonna run for it? Try and get to the other side because you're headed to the other side Mortimer has identified the location of the enemy leadership. They're on the freaking other side of the city.
Yeah.
You'd have to go around, well, not where the city's at. You'd have to go under the city, sorry, to get to the other side and get to their leadership.
I can't think of a better plan aside from just run like hell. So
If Mole's not gonna help me because it's all sand now. Never mind.
I know, I'm like...
Yeah, run.
Oh,
I
Run,
guess.
all right.
on.
Why don't you
Would
all
you
give
guys
me
tame these
No, it's
things?
gonna be
athletics
strong.
checks? I'm certain some people will try when this quiets down.
What?
Athletics checks, please. Because I know you're all extremely fit.
I'll take a 23.
23, very nice.
18 plus 5.
Okay, so we've got a 23
How
from
about an
Shiloh.
8?
Oh my gosh. A 16 from Crunk, obviously. Then Win gets a 4, Lucian gets an 8, and Denise gets a 3. So
I'm not
immediately,
used to sand.
Crunk and
This is
Shiloh just begin to
terrible.
bolt forward, and the others are like, oh crap, running in sand is hard.
That's bullshit.
Oh, no.
So,
No.
why
Anything
don't
I can do to help.
you
I
guys, yeah, so you guys are running, and
shift to
the
an
party
eagle?
can choose to split off where Crunk and Shiloh go ahead and the other three kind of stay back, or are you going to stick all
Probably a good
together?
idea.
Those who have the ability to run
have
faster can stay
small legs
slower
that
if they
can-
want to.
I have.
Can I shift to eagle and
Yeah.
fly?
Yeah.
Screw the sand. I hate it.
Rough and
There you
coarse
go.
it's everywhere.
No.
And-
Oh, no.
All right, so I'm gonna roll some dice because someone is influencing. Every once in a while, you see these little motes of blue light affecting the purple worms and kind of guiding them to strike out important targets. And out of the earth bursts a purple worm right underneath Shiloh and Crunk. Please
Oh, God.
roll me a dexterity saving throw. Crunk, you'll get advantage because you got the perceived
Yeah, I got the
danger thingy, whatever that is.
Damn. Dexterity save?
So we got a
16 minus 1. 15.
That's right on the barrier.
Still beat me.
It bursts out of the ground, knocking Shiloh sideways, falling just outside of its mouth, and Crunk is kept inside of its mouth. It closes its mouth with you inside. All the light just goes away.
Oh, great.
Oh,
This is
no.
going so well.
And I'm just over here, like, floundering in the sand, like, ah!
I'm literally gonna start stabbing and slicing and just going
All right.
like crazy.
All right, so we're going to move in
feel
kind
like
of
I'm raging.
yeah, I would imagine so.
Just-
Lucian might be able to do a thing.
Please.
So he sees that happen. It's like right in front of him,
Yeah.
and he's going to cast suggestion on it.
Okay.
Yay, innate abilities. Let's see.
What do we got? What kind of save is that?
So it is wisdom saving throw.
It's not great at
against
those.
my 17.
Okay, so it gets a +0 and rolled a 1.
Yes.
So what exactly are you trying to do?
So, like it pops up out of the ground. It has Crunk in its mouth, and Lucian just locks eyes with it and says, "Obey me." And for the
would've
next
said-
8
I would've said,
hours,
Drop it.
hide.
Wait, what?
Okay,
It spends
It's
the next
charmed
8
for the
hours
next-
high?
8 hours. And it
nice.
was just obey me.
It stops mid, like it's doing kind of a whale dive sort of thing. It stops half out of the sand, turns towards you, and opens up its mouth, and Crunk is there.
Attacking and
Black.
slashing.
Have I caught up yet?
It's like, all right, everybody inside.
Inside.
Yes.
Does anyone talk to
yes.
Crunk about this plan?
Well, Crunk is Lucian's saying that to Crunk. All
Okay.
right, everyone inside. I have it charmed now.
Yes, I'm there.
I guess I'll go in.
All right.
I'm
Well,
like very out of breath
I
from running in
love
sand
this. I love
and
this.
not also having sand in my lungs.
So you crawl inside. You have the ability to. There's not enough room in its mouth for 5 people.
That's okay. One of us is a bird.
Okay.
Ah,
There's room
Fair.
for like 2 people in
I'm
its
very
mouth.
short.
2 else would have to go farther back.
Oh. Just choke the bit.
Can Crunk and I ride on top of? Like, is it like?
As long as it doesn't
skin-
dive under the sand.
Which it's going to.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I am the biggest, so I don't think
What do you say, big
I
guy? You want to hoof it?
we can hoof it. We can run.
What are you
I
talking
like
about?
running.
No, Oliver, just get in the gooey parts. Fine.
Get
If I
in
had a
my
nickel-
belly.
Oh dear lord. I'm pretty sure that's your city up there. Do you really want to points now?
All right. Fuck it. Let's go.
All right, so who goes farther inside of there?
Go.
Shiloh and
I feel like the smallest people should be doing this,
I'm
so as
going-
not to choke it.
I am going to go.
I
deep
don't
in
have the
worm.
energy to like pull myself.
I'm gonna go deeper.
uh,
Sorry.
I would
Yup.
like to go further into the worm.
thank you. So who else? One more person.
I'll kind of like. I'll go.
All right.
Oh,
Farther
can I just
into
like
the
hang
worm.
from the dangly thing? And
Gotta hangle from the dangle.
I don't think
I
that's
got
a
a
good
hangle from the
idea.
dangle.
Isn't that the thing you touch to make it like?
Gag. Yeah.
The uvula?
yeah.
That is the eject button.
Yeah, you don't want.
Isn't
don't
that
do that.
smart? You guys would be like, no,
Well-
no, no. And he's like,
Like I don't want to be covered in sand, but I want to be covered in that even less. So
okay, I won't do it.
All right. So begin to go, and it dives back down, pushing through the sand. It stays shallow, so not going very deep into the sand. And Mortimer gives you his eyes so that you can basically top down guide yourselves.
Like a mini game.
All right, so here's the plan.
do.
So we're gonna be going along. We're gonna have it dive down just enough to get under where like the bosses are over there. And the plan is to come up out of the ground under them with the mouth open, and we nuke the ever-loving hell out of them. Because what a surprise round.
All right. The
Are we ready?
trip is short, and you get down underneath. Mortimer takes a better look at them, seeing that they've set up sort of a temporary camp. And what they've set up is basically large, like long, temporary wooden stadium seating, so that all of the guild masters can observe the battle.
That was a mistake.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, there's an even better. So wait, they're basically just sitting there munching on popcorn and stuff.
Yes, they've got like
I got a way better idea.
they've got guild troops around them, but like their personal guard are around them, but they don't have any of their armies near them. So what's happening?
So ready.
So
Let's do it,
instead
let's
of
do it,
like
let's do
just
it.
coming up right underneath of them, come up like off to the side of like the stadium seating, and then just boom.
Oh, just lay flat on. Yeah.
Yup.
Okay.
And blit.
Why don't
Guild jam.
one of you choose to make a. You know what? Basically, because it encompasses navigation, someone make me a survival check for aiming the giant worm.
I got this. These are my worms.
Okay.
These are my
So-
worms. These are my-
I
These are
have.
my
Like,
figures.
no, that's not what I rolled.
Do I really
It's like,
have
I
the
got a
highest
plus
survival?
one.
Minus plus
Uh,
3.
Yeah, mine's plus 3.
plus 6. Let you girl.
All you.
Yeah.
Please do
Let
it.
the
By
girl,
all
let the-
means.
Let the chick who survived in the wastelands of a hellscape for years do this. That'll be a 16.
16.
Hey.
You burst out of the ground. You can watch this from Mortimer's perspective, and it just belly flops on top of the stadium seating where all of the guild men are held. And right as it's about to land, a blast shoots through, blowing apart a section of it, cutting the giant creature into like a 2/3 section and a 1/3 section, protecting a little area of the stadium seating, but most of the people got crushed. There's a section where they weren't. And the creature lands dead, opening its mouth, and the four of you spill out. Denise is hovering above, quite nearby. You can synchronize your actions with theirs, so you can act on the first surprise round as you all get to strike. You see about 6 guild heads who are just panicked, and they surround the person that protected them, which is Arkael, a blue human in robes, holding in his left hand this little crystal vial, and is chugging this slightly blue water that comes out of it.
Don't like that.
And
I say we stop him.
he is ready to start the fight.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Let's roll initiative.
Is it possible for Denise to shift from one animal to the other directly without going back to half elf form?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna be an 18 initiative for me.
Wonderful. No,
Oh, do you want to put the tracker up?
yeah,
Oh.
I've just forgotten where it is. There it is. Got it. Hang on.
Hey.
Oh, sweet. There it is.
Remove all turns. All right, let's start this. Okay.
How?
Do
Are you me?
Dang, I forget
I
where
didn't
the...
roll it with advantage though. Hang on, I clicked advantage, didn't roll it. So let's do this again. Okay.
all right.
20 is-
So
You didn't record yours
what,
anyway.
what did you get, Shallow?
18.
18. That's very good.
Oh, there it is.
19 minus 1. Dexterity is my dump stat.
And let's do this. He did not get that terrific. So we give him that. And then the other.
I don't remember how to do...
About that. Oh, wait.
All right.
Okay. We are.
And
Where am I? There I am. Okay. It's fine. It's okay.
All right. And then we'll set this up as descending. Crunk, you go first with a 20. Sorry,
yeah.
you all get a surprise round first. Then we'll jump into our initiative track.
Ah, hell yes.
Okay, so
Alright, do you mind if I kick
Hell
things
yeah.
off?
I don't mind.
If you're the first one, then yeah.
Because I
mean,
think
I
this
don't.
is-
I can hold my action.
You maybe have
until
a.
after he does.
This is
I
a
hold my
surprise round, so
turn?
you guys get to pick what order you guys do
well,
this
then,
in.
yeah, he can go first. I do not.
Because
care.
this has narrative flavor and is gonna set you.
love it.
Nice.
As soon as I come flying out of the worm, I'm gonna summon the pickaxe, and from it, a glowing beam of light fires off of one of the points, and I'm gonna cast a guiding bolt
Nice.
at Archael. So I'm going to make a ranged spell attack. 13 plus 6 is 19.
That'll hit.
So here comes 4d6 radiant damage.
Nice.
5, 7, 9. It's gonna be 12 radiant damage.
Very nice.
And the next person who attacks RKL has advantage,
Perfect.
Nice.
as a little bit of that light sort of glimmers around him still. And I just shout his name. I was like, "Found ya!"
I'm guessing Krunk wants to go next.
Aha!
Before he does, Lucian just wants to look at him and say, "You should drink that potion now."
Oh!
Yes, 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 yes.
Where is it? Where is it? What do I have? I don't remember. I didn't write it down.
The
The dragon breath
dragon's
potion.
breath.
Oh, not the potion of weasel changing?
Breath.
No, are they different? I don't have that. Okay.
You sure don't.
Hey, oh, you're right. This would be fun.
All right. So
What do
why
I
don't-
see before me?
Been waiting for this.
you feel just strength. You feel like a full breath of air. You feel like you have the force in yourself, in your soul, to knock down mountains. And do you want to do the big all-in-one blast? Or do you want to have the thing you can use every turn? Okay, so if you're going to do the big all-in-one blast, please roll a 1d6 per level that you have in your character. And this is... so this potion, to explain for those who are not aware, is a potion I introduced before, which is a Dragon's Breath potion that gives you essentially a Dragonborn's Breath ability attack. Lets you do it for like a minute or something as your attack. Or you can expend all of it in one go, which is 1d6 per level, and its element is aligned to something about you. So I think, we talked about this a bit before, I think that Krunk's element would be force. I think he Fus Roda this guy.
Definitely.
Force breath.
So what do you got?
Almost as cool as mine.
8d6.
Yup.
Nothing else? Just the 8d6 straight?
Yeah,
No
roll that.
modifiers?
Yup.
Plus 1,000? Okay. This comes out as a belch, just so it's like.
You nuke us all.
Plus 23 force damage as Krunk just blasts him as this wave of air just... Ugh. You can see that the...
Smell like chicken.
Just breakfast.
All of the breakfast.
Oh, the breakfast.
Breakfast comes out with it.
Just a little.
The guildman that was standing in front of him is just blasted back. You literally see bits of skin torn off by the blast and just does like a backflip over Arkael, just flies and lands, breaking his back on a rock like 20 feet behind.
Oh no, does he die?
That guy? Oh yeah, he's dead. He's like a banker. He's just a super rich accountant. Like, he has no combat stats.
I'm just over here like, why are you here?
Yeah, no, they're the people who own the army that got sent out.
Poor fucker.
Get dunked on.
So who's next?
Trip burned.
Return this investment.
Me? I think it's me.
Yeah,
unless
all
it's
right.
Lu-
I'm gonna stay till
this
the
is
end
up to you.
because I'm gonna get in people's way.
I have a
think.
question. I have
Yes.
a question. I am raging. How many attacks do I get? I get a bunch of attacks still. Like, can I still?
Oh.
Can I still-
This
or
is
it
going to be
gonna-
your one thing for the surprise round.
Okay,
You'll
that's
get a bunch of
surprise,
attacks
right.
on your
forgot.
turn. So
Forgot
this
we
is
were
still
surprised.
surprise round. We still got 3 people to go. What are we gonna do? Who's next? Win is attacking. You actually should have gotten advantage on that because
Oh,
of
my bad.
guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt.
So you would get, and
Well,
you.
I'm already at a disadvantage.
No, that's only on skill checks, not on attacks.
Okay, my bad.
So
Let me
you
do
would
that
get that
So, I mean, you want me to
22
just
that's
use the
right there.
22?
Yeah, you get that
Okay.
22 right there.
Yeah, so I cast spiritual weapon from inside the mouth, and
Nice.
and I'm just like laying there like, get him. And, and
What is
so,
the
like,
spiritual weapon? What does it look like?
It's, I'm gonna go with a hammer.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have it like the ends are gonna like be like they're gonna have like a coin on either
Yes.
end.
Yes. That makes
just-
that makes a lot of sense
Yeah,
for your
'cause-
deity, the deity of fortune.
Yeah, good luck and whatnot.
So with a 22, why don't you roll damage?
Good luck, have fun.
yeah. Oh, what level am I casting?
GLHF.
Definitely 4.
Oh man, I'm a veteran StarCraft player. That's
So that's
Keck.
8.
so 8 force damage
Mhm.
on the sorcerer.
Yeah.
Be
what's
aware,
his name?
he is a sorcerer, not
Yeah, he's a
Oh.
particularly beefy as far as damage in that. So, or health, sorry.
What's his name again?
RKL.
RKL.
RKL. Okay. Yeah. 'cause I
So
keep
we have
forgetting.
Lucian next. What are you gonna do?
He's going to smile, and his features are going to shift into his like super death demonic look. And he's just going to be like, "Oh, you aren't bright, are you?" And blight him.
Hey guys, are we trying to capture him or what?
Oh no! Kill.
Okay.
Okay,
To murder.
Because we have to be very,
I
very
need-
clear about that.
Yeah, I don't
He
think
can
Blight
die.
can do non-lethal. That's
Yeah, it's called Blight.
all right. What do we
Yeah,
got?
no,
What does
it-
he roll?
Let's see. He rolls against mine. I'm just double checking something. 4th level spell slot. Okay.
Constitution.
Let's do-
He saves on that.
half damage.
Half damage. All right. That
Right
is.
thing.
What's that?
Rounded.
Is it rounded up or
Yeah,
down?
13.
13. Yeah.
It's whoever was rolling the dice gets the
Yeah.
tiebreaker, right?
All right. So you hit him with that. You see his complexion get a bit more pale, making the blue a bit brighter in his skin. And Denise, you're last on this track. What's
Okay,
going
so I'm
down?
directly over him as
Yes.
an eagle right now. I'm going to shift while in the air into polar bear form, and I'm going to fall on him, and then I'm going to claw him if I still can.
God.
From
yeah,
the top ring.
From downtown. Drop it.
Chair! Hit him with
what is the damage of like a bite for the polar bear?
You want me to?
Yeah, what's the damage
To
on
bite
that?
would be a 1d8 plus 5.
Okay,
Claws would be 2d6 plus 5.
all right, roll me basically
Plus poison.
roll me a bite attack.
Okay.
Aware that there's a tiny bit of risk from falling out of the sky. Actually, that misses because he snaps his fingers and you see a small shimmer of light over his surface. You strike down on him and bounce off and land next to him.
Your tooth.
Oof.
You
My
have the ability to
Yeah, he
still do a
bited him.
scratch at him.
I can still scratch him?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
13
No, I can't.
also
That's a
is not
13.
enough. You scratch at him, but your claws just stop right before they get to him, just clawing at thin air, just scratching as if a plate of metal is in the way. All right, and now we actually get to the regular initiative turn order, and Crunk, you go first.
The whispering blade.
Fun to listen to.
Let's do
Talking
this.
about advantage. Everything. Which one is it? It's this one.
So you're attacking recklessly?
Oh yeah, I'll get 3 attacks.
Yeah.
28
Yeah, that'll hit.
for 20 damage.
Yeah,
God.
28.
that also hits.
16 damage.
That's good.
28.
Jeez.
15 damage. 51. 51
oh my
damage.
gosh, that is.
Sorcerers don't do so
You
good like this.
slash, and slice his right arm off.
Oopsies.
Ow.
He clutches it, blood spilling and smearing across the font that's in his left hand, and he takes another drink of it. He's not stopped. He's continually drinking from this thing.
Hey, this bitch thirsty.
And it's now his
Hooked
turn.
up to the feet, man. Just
You thirsty.
So he is going to first use his legendary action to react to Crunk,
Boring it.
and he is going to
Boring it.
he's going to cast, let's say, I think we're gonna go lightning bolt.
There's our chain lightning.
Yeah.
On the wrong side. Dang
You'll be
it.
fine.
Whoops.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not scared.
Yeah. So the lightning bolt.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a dexterity saving throw for.
Advantage.
He's gonna go through, hitting Crunk, and it's gonna go through the dead worm and hit Win as well. You're both gonna need to give me dexterity saving throws, and yes, Crunk will get advantage on that.
Do I get disadvantage
Crit.
on that because?
You do not get disadvantage on that one.
Oh.
Crunk crits,
Okay.
so you're just like.
Can I reflect it back?
And a total
Finally,
of
a
a
good
20 for Win,
roll.
so that will be half damage on 8d6 lightning damage.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just because he only casted a level 3.
Yeah, just level 3.
Just level
Yeah.
3. Let me do some counting if you wouldn't mind. I will
I do mind.
do some math. That's
not
27 halved for you. So 13 damage to both of you.
Okay.
You already did this math. Thank
I still
you.
have my temporary hit points.
And now it's his turn. He is going to take another good chug from the font and hold
Is
out.
that a bonus action?
No, and he kind of holds out just the stump of his right arm, and a
no.
blast of blackness flies out and hits the worm. And
no.
the place where it was cut in half forms back together, and the creature closes its mouth.
Wait, I was still in there.
Yes, you are.
Hey, wait a second. So, it's back to life now?
Yes, it is.
It's still
Is
charmed.
it still charmed?
We did not do damage to it.
That's true. I'm gonna argue that it dying kind of nullifies being charmed.
I mean, but
That's
now it's
fair.
alive again.
I'm gonna argue that no, because its soul
right.
never
No,
came
because
back.
he's the
He is
Oh,
puppeteering it. Its soul
Fair.
is gone. It's charmed wherever afterlife it's hanging out in, but it it's not back. And it clamps down on Win. Win, could you please give me a
Wisdom?
no.
Wisdom?
No, a
Wisdom?
dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh no.
DC's bad.
10.
And I'm gonna stop rolling in there because there's too many dice. Which is what you want to hear.
No.
A 10, that is not save. This is bad. Oh, you take 39 damage as it
Oh,
bites
God.
down on you.
This is fine.
Hold on, I need
Everything's
a
fine.
calculator.
It's not fine.
Everything's gonna be fine.
It better be fine.
Lucian, is your
15
turn.
health. I haven't had this little health since we
Mm.
started. Playing
So how is he
together.
otherwise looking?
He's looking really like half and half. Like, his arm is gone, which looks vicious. But he looks surprisingly calm about that. Like, it still hurts like heck, but he's surprisingly calm about missing an arm.
I want whatever he's on.
Apparently,
I
it's the
think-
water.
Yeah, he's on the water.
He's on that water. He's all hopped up on water.
Why do you think I want this back so badly? Mama needs her special medicine.
I need to get well.
All right.
All right, he is going to cast Shadow.
Okay. What do we
So-
got? What does this do?
Say Shadow of Moil?
Oh yes.
Actually,
Shadow of
that's
Moil.
What's the first half of that? That was just damage. Does it roll anything?
Not currently. So basically, he
Or he,
just
not
like
it.
snaps his fingers, and he's surrounded by darkness, and there's these like tendrils everywhere. And for now, that's it.
So you're a tentacle monster now?
Yes, more or less.
Nice.
You see the necrotic effect seems to not grip him too much, as he
Oh,
does.
it's not doing any damage to him yet.
Oh,
So ignore the
you
damage
rolled.
roll,
Got
sorry.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rolled damage. Okay, got it. Okay, so yeah, no. Although you do see that like it doesn't seem to take a ton of grip on him, as he appears to maybe not be fully 100% alive. Shiloh can maybe
Okay.
elaborate on that later.
Clarification: it does radiant damage, but it also has not done damage yet. Okay.
That's all fine. Next thing in the order is the worm.
Do I have my limbs?
It's worm
You
time.
do have your limbs. It is its turn. It is going to whip its poisoned barb and strike at Lucian.
At disadvantage.
At disadvantage because of
Yep.
which
Because he's in darkness. That's what Shadow of Moil does.
thing? Okay.
It gets a disadvantage to attack me.
Okay. And then I'll roll it twice. So the worst attack roll
dear.
is a 23.
Yeah, no, it hit me.
That hit you. Okay. Let's
Barely hits.
yeah, just barely hits.
20 con save.
That is a con save, please.
Nope.
Oh, guys, y'all.
Yeah.
Fellas,
Okay. Desting is
lads, we might
vicious.
have a problem.
Let's pull out the roller again.
But now it takes 10 damage.
Good. That's good. Yep.
Why is it listed necrotic?
Holy crap.
Oh, no, it is necrotic. Oh, that's a problem.
You take
Oh.
56 poison damage.
Denise?
Are you still alive?
I am.
Denise, actually,
How far away are you?
Shelly.
close enough, I think, right? Yeah.
Can I
I
like
thought you'd be more than
reach
that.
out and suck
Um,
that up or something?
at
intercede.
At
the
least some of it.
Slurp it up, Denise.
Give it a big
you know what?
sip.
As a consuming your reaction,
Yes.
you can no, that's a bit too cheap. You'd have to get to him, and you could help him with poison. You'd have to physically get to him, which would be leaving the threatened zone of the sorcerer,
Did my-
who
How far away are you, Lucian?
definitely within
He's like within 10-ish feet.
close.
pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would have just been back wherever the sorcerer was originally standing until he came to
Well,
Lucian, or Lucian came to him.
No, Lucian walked forward towards
yeah,
this guy.
Lucian walked forward. The sorcerer has not moved.
So I
He's still right next to you.
should be then within reaching, shouldn't I? If I
Okay.
was just claw attacking him.
She's like
Right.
on top.
Can you cast spells while you're or no, you don't need to cast a spell. This isn't a spell. Okay. Denise, roll a con save, please.
That's a 2.
Yeah, sorry.
Plus
Don't worry about it. 2 is not gonna do it.
Unless it was
Okay.
plus 10.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
All right.
No, at 3. Yeah.
It gets one more attack.
Oh, dear God.
What?
And it is
I'm
going
sorry, still take
to
that full 56, right?
it is going to yeah, you take that full 56. Win, please make me a DC. I'm not gonna tell you DC because it's scary. Maybe get dex save, please.
7!
A 7, very wonderful. You are no longer in its mouth. You are in its stomach now.
Oh, that's fine. I'm okay with this. At least I'm not dead.
Eh.
Uh,
Denise, you're
Alright.
up.
shoot.
No, it's so encouraging.
Um,
Thank you. I'm so
oh.
glad I have my wonderful friends here to
I
help
was
me.
pretty high up in the
time.
initiative. Did we pass me?
Wait. Oh, crap. I need to add you in right before Denise.
Okay.
What did you roll for initiative? Wasn't it like 18?
Yes.
I had an 18.
18.
yeah.
So you would have
Oh.
been right around Lucian. My mistake.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do I have you there? Oh no, okay. I've got to scroll there. Add another turn. Okay, we'll use that. That'll be Shiloh. 18. And then go descending.
Because what I'm about to do may affect things and may prevent people from taking.
Yeah, no, so we're gonna go down to Denise, but
Quick
you're up
rewind.
now. Yeah, you're up right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Shiloh.
Okay. I'm going to, seeing that this big hunk of a man and this large polar bear seem to have this on lock, I'm going to rip my eyes away from RKL because I don't like this big worm either. I'm going to pull the book from my side, flip through some pages, and cast Dispel Magic on the worm.
All right. At what level is that?
This is 3rd level. So if it's a spell affecting it of higher, I get to roll for it.
All right, please do that.
Okay, so it's going to be, the DC is 10 plus the spell's level. I use my spellcasting ability modifier, which is 6. Or no, it's 3, not the attack modifier. So, oh god, it didn't go in the tower. It bounced off the side. Oh god, 16 total.
That is not enough.
I'm gonna use my advantage.
Do that, please.
Natural 20.
Yes, there you go. Very nice. Very, very nice. It
Thank you,
stops and falls back down to the ground, dead in its tracks.
chat.
Very
so
nice.
where did that occur in this whole thing?
We'll just say right there, right where we were.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Um,
And so I cannot see Win right now.
correct.
Okay.
Its mouth opens like slightly, like you could see if she was in the mouth.
Okay.
You can see she's not there.
Yeah. So then, as my bonus action, I'm going to use my Celestial Warlock feature.
What's that?
And as the Warlock of the Celestial, I have a thing called Healing Light, where I have a pool of D6s I can use to heal people as a bonus action. So I'm going to expend 2d6 to heal Lucian up a little bit. So 4 and 6, so go ahead and take 10.
I really appreciate that.
That's very nice.
As as the Dispel Magic kind of flickers off, I grab one last fragment of the spell energy and just sort of reshape it and send it off toward him.
That's super cool.
And then turn my eyes back toward Arcale, pick in hand, ready to kill this motherfucker.
Denise, you are up.
Okay. Satisfied that Win is probably not gonna die. And Lucian's been healed. Is he poisoned at all, or is it just damage that he took?
He is not poisoned. He just took
Okay.
poison damage.
Okay, so beyond healing him, I can't do much more.
That's correct.
I'm gonna use my another path dice tray and not roll and roll 20 because it's right now. I'm gonna just try to do some attacks on this. So that would be 17 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, and that
I'm
was
taking into
my
account
claw.
lost arm as probably decreasing his AC.
Probably not wrong. Okay, and then that's which is 7 plus 5, which is math. 12 damage
Very
from
nice.
my claw
Did you
attack.
add your poison in?
All you have to do is cut the
Oh,
7
oh,
into a
oh.
5 and a 2, and then you add the 5.
That's what I did.
Uh,
It requires you to actually think. I'm sorry. I don't do this regularly.
No, it's
math.
easier
Anyway,
like that.
poison damage is 3.
Okay.
And then I'm going to bite him. That would be 20. Dirty 20 on that.
That's gonna work.
Oh, wait, no. D8.
So while
10.
she's doing math, I'm gonna explain. Denise gained a ability before where she became the embodiment of poison. All things she does is gets a d6 poison added to it.
Interesting.
All right, so what's the damage
so
we got?
that was... Sorry to interrupt you, but that was a total of 10 damage with poison.
What was the poison damage?
2.
Okay, thank you. I actually need them separated for this guy.
Oh, because he's immune or something. Lovely.
And is that everything for you?
That is my multi-attack. I am going to disengage. Can I disengage?
That would be an action.
Step back?
for
okay,
you.
never mind.
You're not a monk. I'm sorry. As much as I know you regret it.
That's Solara. Sorry. Wrong one.
All right, Win,
game.
please roll me a Constitution saving throw. As you are still in the belly of this creature. A 15.
Okay.
I'm really sorry, doesn't make it.
That's fine.
But it's not going to actively attack you anymore, so at least hopefully this is the last damage roll that this creature is going to do on you.
Is it like the stomach acid damage?
Yes, it's the stomach acids. You're going to take... fortunately, it rolled kind of low. That is 8, 9, 19 acid damage is dealt
I'm
to
dead.
you.
Oh no.
I only had 16 left.
I'm so sorry because the save was 16. It was so sad.
Well, no, but now you get to make death saves.
Yeah, hey, that's horrible because damage gives you an automatic failure and she's still sitting in the acid. So please get to her quickly.
Oh.
So I have a failure already?
No, you're gonna start flat
until your
0. And we're gonna roll once we come around to your turn again. It is Crunk's turn. Win, actually, please make me a
Crunk, you're muted.
wisdom saving throw. 15. You're able to give out a little, through the connection you have to the Mimic Knights, you're able to give out a yelp of just panic, help, save me, emergency.
I'm just over here.
Yelp for help.
Yup! Yup! This is a yup of distress.
They Gregged me.
They cracked me, y'all.
All right, Crunk, you're up.
All right, home dude's still up and
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
going, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm just hacking away, buddy.
Let's do this.
Let's go,
Take
baby.
it off.
25.
25 will do it.
15.
That'll hurt a lot.
24.
That'll hit. Jeez.
19. And 28. All that magical 28 with the 15 slashing.
Okay, so
49.
Can I cut off his head this time?
No, you bring the blade down, and it's almost a buster sword. Like, this great sword is huge. You bring it down in sort of a stab and slice off basically the front half of his foot. And so he stumbles around, basically only able to stand on his heel on that. But again, hurt a heck of a lot.
I really
but
wanted to
still
go for
seeming
the other arm.
kind of calm. He is very purposefully letting you strike other parts of his body to protect that part. He does not want to lose the font.
Who would?
Yeah. And it is his turn. He is going to... actually, before his turn, he's going to do his legendary action. And he is going to... this time, he's going to cast another necromancy spell. This time not on the giant worm, but just on random corpses around
Like
you.
me?
Just do it. No.
On bankers.
Like me.
All right, sure.
The fingers.
So he is going to get. I rolled a lot. He is going to get.
Dividends.
No, it's too scary.
He's going to get 6 zombies raised up to join him in battle, and they're going to act on his turn. So they're going to do.
Now.
Yeah, which is now. It's going to do a bunch of collective attacks. So basically, they will strike everyone with a garbage roll. Who has an AC lower than 13?
That'd be the cricket.
Let me check my stats as bear.
Nobody?
Oh, dang. My polar
Okay,
bear
that's
is
fine.
12.
Wait. Oh, the AC for a polar bear is 12?
A polar
Okay.
bear.
So you're going to be hit and take 12 damage as the zombies strike at you.
Barely got you.
Just barely. And now we get to move to Shiloh.
Okay. I'm going to run to the mouth of the. Can I just peering inside? Can I see?
Actually, unfortunately, I mean, you can
I was
do
about
this
to ask.
based on your concern, but you're the one person who would not have gotten that yelp for distress.
Oh, never mind then. Sorry, Win. I'm respecting the fiction.
Thank you very much.
I didn't want you to save me anyway. I'm kidding.
I'm going to run right up on RKL, and
Pick his dick.
I'm going to.
Punch him in the dude.
Not yet. I have a plan first.
She has a plan for that later.
She's got plans for that.
I'm going to angle it. The spell is a 30-foot cone, so I'm right on top of him. I want to angle it so I don't catch the bear or the barbarian.
Yep, that's fine.
And I'm going to cast Fear. And he needs to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Very nice. What's the DC?
DC is only 14.
He rolled a 15, not including his pluses.
All right, that's a damn shame. It would have been clutch.
What about
'cause
those
it
zombies,
specifically
though?
says-
Yes, zombies are immune to being afraid, unless
Right,
it's
yeah,
unless
sure
you're
are.
turning undead.
Yeah. It specifically says in Fear they become frightened and drop whatever they're holding.
That would have been amazing. That would have been awesome.
So instead, I will bonus action to send a little bit more healing light toward wait,
Lucian?
Krunk, have you been hit at all?
I'm fine, bro.
No, you're fine.
I still have my
some
temporary
reason-
hit points. I
for
haven't even taken
some
real damage.
All right. Then
They're
in
just
that
ignoring
case,
the big guy.
I'm going to bonus action Hex on RKL
Right on.
and give him disadvantage on strength checks.
Is Hex? I don't believe you can cast 2 spells at the same, even if they are a bonus action. I don't think you can cast 2 spells in the same turn.
Or
I
one has
maybe
to be a
think-
cantrip, right?
I'm thinking
It has to be a cantrip.
I'm thinking of house rules. That's
Yeah.
my bad.
Sorry.
That's okay. Then I will just kind of just stare at him.
I'm just gonna smolder a little bit. Just...
Yeah.
He is going to
But I'm in melee with him now, and I
Yep,
have
yep.
my pick out.
he is going to react to your offensive action to him, pulling out his legendary action, and is going to cast a spell which is
Whip it out.
minor minor planar calamity, where he's going to summon a little fragment out of the multiverse and strike you with a bit of a universe.
Oh.
What?
Hey, what if instead
Instead of that,
What if you didn't?
did it?
Have you considered
it just like gave up
not?
instead.
All right.
He
Sounds
is
like a
going
great story
to
to me.
nab a little bit of the elemental plane of fire. And is going to wield a bit of a universe in his hand like a sword. And do a sweeping strike
Excuse me.
on the 4 of you.
Which hand?
Oh, true.
Oh,
True.
oh!
Yeah, no, that's true. No, yeah,
Prehensile.
Getting
he
mitts from his pants.
he
I
does.
see.
He has to put it to much of it to his chagrin. He has to put the font in his pocket to do this,
put your
and
pop
does
on
it with his left arm, swinging this planar flame around. Could I please get a dexterity
flame?
saving throw from the four of you?
Is he right-handed and therefore gets disadvantage?
No. Because he's not
I feel
actually
like-
rolling, you're
Let's
rolling
go.
saves.
Okay.
15.
I
10.
get advantage anyway. It's 1 through
Yeah.
1.
Right, so we get a 7 from Lucian, a 15 from
And he
Shiloh.
takes 7 damage.
He'll take 7 necrotic damage. A 20 frickin' 1 from Crunk. Denise, what do you get?
A 10.
A 10. Okay, so Crunk, you will take half damage on this. This is
Okay.
gonna be bad. All right.
Oh wait,
Sure, it's
Yes.
fine.
he rolls disadvantage against. Oh wait, it's a spell.
He's
Never
not
mind.
rolling.
Never mind, ignore me.
Okay, that's a there. That's a there. That's a there. He deals, holy crap, 35 damage.
I'll take half that.
Polar bear goes poof.
I'm a tiefling.
So is that 18?
Yep, that's 18 for you, Crunk, but you cannot regenerate health this turn because that is fire damage.
That's fine.
All right, so that's
That cancels out your troll regeneration.
17.
Anyway. But yeah, that's 35 fire damage.
That's just for 1 turn, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
fine.
I'm so glad I came so I could just like sit in a
Hey, you helped.
You distracted the
that
worm.
role-playing
Yeah, you
game.
distracted the giant worm.
It's fine. No, it's fine.
All right. And as Shiloh, as your turn ends, you hear a rumble of everything shakes. And you glance back and you see that the ninth city has touched the ground.
Gently?
Yes, it has. It wasn't perfectly gently. There's definitely some damage, but it
But this
is
wasn't
in
meteoric,
one
like-
piece. Yeah, yeah, no, it wasn't just meteorite boom. No,
Like splat.
it lands gently there, and you see already people are pouring out of the city and entering into the battle.
Leave. Wait, what?
My
How do
people.
they don't even know what's going on. They're
No,
just like,
Lucian, sorry, Win, you don't see any of this. You
I
just
wasn't
feel a
saying that
little
I do,
rumble.
I'm
That's it. You see nothing. And right, it is Lucian's turn.
Okay. So Lucian, hearing that ping of "Oh no, help me," just turns and runs right for the worm to go pull Win out.
Okay. You're gonna get an opportunity attack on you
Why?
because you're
He's not.
disengaging.
moving out of his threatened square.
He's 10 feet away though. All right.
Oh, wait. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm
I know.
I'm mistaken. Yeah, you're right. You're good.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so go over, do that, and just I guess pull Win out of the acid.
So how are you getting this thing open? Or you're going into the mouth?
I mean, when it dispelled the magic, did it dispel the re-knitting of it?
No, it doesn't fall apart though. It's dead, but it doesn't fall apart.
Then yeah, he's gonna go right into in through the mouth of it.
Okay, can you roll
can see
me
the dark, he ain't bothered.
Not the acrobatics,
Oh god.
please.
Uh,
A 5. Okay. Tell me your level of desperation. How desperate are you to get in there?
I don't think I ever want to be in this.
oh, he'll whatever it takes.
Yeah, so you will get in. You are just dragged across its teeth.
Nice.
And you
Little
will
toothy.
take you're going to take 10 damage of
Okay.
slashing as you scrape yourself across its teeth, but you pull yourself in and you can see Wynn right there sitting in its stomach acids. You can literally see the leather bits on her armor dissolving. You can see her. You can see her mimic armor has changed to be full body suit, entirely encompassing her, trying to protect her, but you can see the acid is really hurting it, just burning it away.
Mimics
Then
don't
he's
scream, do
gonna
they?
Go in there and pull her out, and I want to do a thing.
Okay.
A DM's favorite words.
Yeah, it is. It is my favorite words. Absolutely. After you roll a con save for touching the acid to get her out, you'll definitely 6. Jeez. Okay, you're not like fully dunking in it like she was, so it's definitely a lot less damage. 7.
Definitely not
down.
appreciating it.
No.
but I was about to say, like, maybe we should have sent Krunk.
Right?
I had 6 hit points, so I'm down. I'm putting in the acid too. Good times.
Oh my god.
If I was still
Oh.
alive, I could heal you.
Oh no.
Okay, well, that ends your turn, I guess.
Sure does.
Fortunately, the next
Okay.
enemy that was going to have a turn is the worm, and it's dead, so let's not worry about that. Denise, you're up. Lucian, can you do the same wisdom save to try and give out your panic cry? 18, you
18,
do.
so I can do
it is
that.
also heard.
Oh, good.
Everyone you love around you is dying.
So Krunk and Denise and
so-
Win, you hear this cry of help for help from Lucian.
Can I mean,
Okay.
can
So
I
Win
make an
is
argument that would, like, kind of, I don't know, it would bring something out of me? Because, like, he doesn't do that, you know?
Okay,
like,
so here, let me explain
gotta be
the
scared
exact
for him.
situation. Lucian hurt himself. He burned himself on the acid, but he dragged you and himself out of the acid. You're both sitting in its mouth, but not taking any further damage. You
Oh, okay.
can
That's helpful.
voluntarily take a failure on your next death saving throw to try and heal Lucian.
Oh wow.
Okay.
before it's my turn, right?
True. Let's do that on your turn. Denise, you're
Okay.
up.
Because I can heal people, yo.
Yes.
That's true.
I'm gonna come in.
Do you have spare the dying?
I do not.
Okay.
Oh.
So what I'm gonna do is
Please
I'm
roll a
going-
dexterity saving throw as you exit the boss dude's area of threat.
Wait, I'm not a. Oh, let me just do it. this
You're
way.
still a polar bear, right?
No.
No, you're not a
I
polar bear.
lost that.
A 10.
She got
Eey!
Yeah.
Please don't die, you people. I don't want you to die.
Well, then why did you send all this stuff at us?
Okay, you take
Should've
14
thought about that.
fire damage.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, particularly when he summoned it, it was a very spectacular blast. This is more of a smaller focused hit. So you get to go.
Okay. So I'm gonna go into the mouth o' the worm.
Yep.
And I'm going to cure. Let's do this at level 2. When. Are you freaking kidding me?
My
Oh
God.
my god.
Rolled a 1 on your healing.
That's a 5.
So a total of a 5.
together.
Well, you cast at level 2, right? So it's another D8.
That was my 2d8s.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, so a
Yeah.
4 and a 1. So 5 for
Plus
win.
your wisdom.
Yeah, that would be plus your wisdom if it's cure wounds, right? Is that correct, Denise?
Yeah.
plus your-
Yeah, just add your
my
wisdom.
wisdom's
Yeah.
4.
So
Yeah, so 4 more.
yeah, cool. So 9. Sorry, yes, 9 hit
9.
points are regenerated for win. Is that correct?
Yes.
You are no longer downed. You're back up. Your
Can I do a bonus action?
Do-
Is it to feed a potion?
no, it's an
to-
action.
So, do I count the negative?
No, you don't count negative
No,
in faith.
yours is
Nope,
0.
Okay.
nope.
No,
And
You're at 9
yeah,
now.
you're up. You're up at 9 hit points. Is that everything for Denise?
Yeah, I think so. I don't have any
Alright.
more wild shapes or anything. So.
When you are up, you can feel the kind of mental cry of pain from your mimic armor that tried to protect you and really took a beating to do so.
Okay. Is my AC affected?
Currently, no.
Okay.
Future implications may come about, but right now, no.
All right. Hold on. Can I see everyone?
you're in a
You
mouth.
can't. No, you can peek around like the edge of it. I think enough to see everyone. Yeah.
And everyone's within 60 feet,
Yes.
and they can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay.
My ears haven't melted off yet.
Level 4.
Um,
What is that? Can I
When?
do math heal?
you had a special ability that allowed you to re-roll healing.
I do?
Yeah, you got that from the dwarven attire that you acquired. So I would suggest you do that because you rolled 2 2s.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Oh my god!
Really?
2 1s instead. Okay. But yeah, no, but okay. I'm gonna side on your side of this because when I originally said it, I said you basically get advantage on it. So you pick the higher of the two, go with your
So,
original roll. Everyone
Four HP
gets
for
4 hit
everyone.
points with your mass healing word. What is that word that you
It's-
say? Other than
I mean,
Uh,
Ow! Armageddon.
together?
that's
yeah,
a good one. I like that.
Is that too cheesy?
it is, which is perfect.
So, yeah, so you gain HP.
Yep, 4 HP for
Oh, wait.
all your allies.
Plus, it's 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
Oh,
So you
nice.
add your wisdom.
So, yeah,
Okay,
so your
so-
wisdom.
Ability modifiers plus 3.
Nice.
So that's 7 total.
7 total for
Hell
all
yeah,
allies.
7 hit
Lucian
points.
is brought back up. Shiloh gets a little bit of healing. Denise gets a little bit of healing. Crunk gets a little bit of healing. And Win, that applies to you too, doesn't it?
I think so. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm-
totally.
Yeah.
You can
Yes.
you can target yourself with it.
Awesome.
It sure
You
does.
get healed as well.
So that's
Is that everything for you? For your turn?
7. I don't think I really have anything.
That's
Unless
fine.
for some reason, my weapon is still up.
No, it is not.
No, I don't have
No,
it.
your spiritual weapon would have dispelled when you went down. So that means
I-
Crunk, it is your turn.
And can I assume that our little magical connection would have said, "Okay, we're fine now."
Yeah. No, you can.
And you would have felt the wave of healing.
Yes.
I would have felt the
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
All
you're-
yes.
Yeah, you know what's going on. You're good.
Frenzy rage. Fuck him up.
Hell yes, baby.
28
What is it?
Jeez.
With 28.
for 16. 28.
28.
Give me that 14. 26 for 18. He's dead. I'm aiming at his
So,
neck with
what's the damage on that last one?
18.
18. Okay, so have you ever
48
seen
48
particularly I like to think of awesome executions in terms of Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War,
Yeah.
where first strike you chop at his knee, bringing him to the ground. Forgebreaker is rating us with a party 5. Thank you very much.
Woo!
Awesome.
What's up?
Welcome.
You slice at his knee. It does not actually chopping through it, but bringing him down to his knee. The second strike comes down and brings off his other arm, and then the final strike comes around and chops his head off.
I want that last thing. I want my great sword. I literally want to just like twirl it in my one hand and bring it down to step to chop that head off.
Dang.
Because it's huge, and I just.
Crunk, roll me just one last chance for the Whispering Blade. Just roll one more time, because none of those hits were crits. Roll me just one more try. Let's see where we go.
Come on, baby! Damn it.
Nope.
No.
16.
Damn it.
No crit.
Oh.
So, for those who don't know, the Whispering Blade has an ability that, upon critting, it essentially gets, the ring of soul, of
You kill with a crit, right?
yeah.
If you-
So the ring where a person can put their soul in the ring. Basically, the blade allows you to put someone's soul in the ring if you crit with it, effectively allowing you to speak with them like a person using Speak with Dead.
Nice.
And so it can't learn anything, but it continually will answer any questions that are asked of it. But the soul is lost. But the enemy is dead. The zombies instantly drop to the ground.
Phew.
And
Interest rate.
Are we out of combat?
yes, you are out of combat.
All right. I think Shiloh's just rearing up and probably plants the pick in his chest.
Just in case.
And goes down to a knee and immediately starts fumbling through his pockets with the font.
Yeah, you find it in his front shirt pocket.
Oh, and she just kisses it and just holds it tight with both hands, and then kicks him. Kicks him.
And I
Kicks
kick
him again.
Yeah, and I kick him too. Like, yeah, yeah, fuck this guy.
All right, and I'm gonna like
Lucian would
crawl out of
look
the
at
worm.
Win and be like,
Yeah.
"Are you all right?"
Well, I've got sand in my mouth still. Also I'm covered in acid and I think my arm is crying. And other than that, I think I'm okay.
So when you look at Lucian and you see his skin, his face is marked, like acid burns burning through. You can see flesh. You can see bone on his forehead. It is
Him
it's
fuck.
vicious.
What happened?
And then the healing word has covered those over with skin, so it's leaving like marks
Weird little divots.
on him.
Aww.
I will.
Okay.
I will
This
turn.
weird
Lucian's
thing.
pretty face.
I will turn to them as. Denise, did you get hit at all?
No.
Okay.
Not
Not
particularly.
Then I will turn back and see them pulling themselves out of the worm, and I will spend the last of my healing light to heal.
Actually, Lucian would very specifically say, "Don't heal me yet."
All right. Very well.
Excuse me.
When? Right.
Yes, thank you.
I'll spend another 2d6 of healing light.
Let's see.
That'll be
Thaumaturgy.
5.
Okay.
5 back to you, Win. It's the least I can do.
alright.
It's
21.
not much,
I
but
can drink.
you all have done me a great service today. Anything
So
I can
that-
do to return the favor?
Well, we do need to finish this war.
Right.
Oh, I have a perfect way to finish this war. Right.
I don't have an automatic crit on this game.
And he's going
You
to step forward. Oh, go ahead.
sorry, you hear the Mimic King. Actually, Shiloh. Sorry, I'm doing this out of order. The Mimic Knights, you get a basically an ask from the Mimic King of permission to do something slightly intrusive. For Shiloh's benefit.
Okay.
Sure.
Go on.
I appreciate the asking for consent.
Out of the mouths
important.
of all 4 Mimic Knights, Shiloh, you hear the Mimic King speak.
It's like that bit in Lilo and Stitch where they put him on the photograph.
You have won the battle. You have decapitated the army. I will deal with relaying the news, if you don't mind.
I do mind.
I will lend my
Lucian has
strength however you need. So, for the next action you're doing to alert the armies of what's happened, you get the Mimic King's strength behind you to do whatever you're trying to do.
Okay.
Okay. So, does anyone mind if I do something dramatic real quick?
Dramatic? I
Yes.
love dramatic.
I love
I
the
wouldn't
art.
be you if you didn't.
I know, right? So Lucian is going to stand up on top of that broken, destroyed banners and everything and cast Thaumaturgy to create an image of himself towering over the battlefield. Well, an image of himself and the rest of the knights. And Shiloh.
And with the Mimic King's power, this is full force. Just they couldn't tell the difference if a deity was visiting them right now.
He's going to say, "Your leaders are dead, and they couldn't stop us." And he's going to use his ability, shape of mimic, to heal himself. So, Shogun, do you want to explain how this one works?
I don't have the Google Doc in front of me, so you can read the text out.
wait,
But
no,
basically,
sorry.
I wrote
Wrong
a
Mold self. That's the one.
I wrote a
Boop.
custom subclass for the Warlock with the Mimic King as the patron.
Ah.
That's so good.
So he's going to regenerate 8 hit points, and you're going to like see him just re-knitting himself. And it's not going to look natural. It's not going to look like it was healing magic, but just honestly pretty terrifying as like his bones slide back into place, his skin recovers.
Yeah,
Like
it's
a really gross regeneration.
basically a mimic can turn into anything it wants, so he turns himself into clay for a little while and puts his flesh back into place, reshapes stuff, making
It's
himself
like a reverse
pliable.
Raiders
and-
of the Lost Ark.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Says,
Unmelting.
Thanks,
now
I hate
then,
it.
surrender.
Why don't you roll intimidation, and let's say you get advantage,
Yeah, I think so.
like 3 times. Like roll 3 times, please.
23 was the highest.
Yeah, 23. You announce your victory to the armies, and those that are not immediately down on their knees surrendering are distracted enough to immediately be killed by your forces that slaughter
Oh,
anyone who
no.
didn't surrender.
Nice.
The only issue is the elder purple worms that are still a little bit rambunctious, but now that the person kind of influencing them has died, they're diving back down into the sand, because I'm sure by this point they've eaten plenty. They're not hungry
They're
anymore,
causing trouble if they
so they're going
are
down
really
under the
rambunctious.
sand to be dealt with later.
I would like to use with some Mimic King amplification my light cantrip to cast a glowing blue star above the ninth city, in the loose shape of an unblinking eye, which is the symbol of Mahavir that my congregation would recognize.
Yeah, you would hear.
I recognize it.
Yes.
You'd recognize it.
Hey,
My newest seeker on this plane.
I get that reference.
Okay, Cap.
Even from here, you would hear like the small yelling of your followers in the city. You would see surfing upon, now that you're able to survey, the Mimic Knights and Shiloh see surfing upon the sands. They see a wooden ship with a stone bottom that has been sailing around on the sands with a tiefling on the front of it, reaching down with a pike, striking enemies down on the ground.
Yes.
Oh, I like them.
He's an old friend.
You
He
see
looks like fun.
approaching
Oh,
you,
you
you
need to
see
introduce
a
us to-
sorcerer with several knives and arrows. You see an arrow just going straight through his head, coming out the other side. A blue walker as well, walking towards you, is just kind of like wiggling at it, trying to get it out.
You're pulling the wrong way. You want to go like
You wanna
the
go-
way the
yeah.
feathers.
I
He's
would
also
I
an
would
old
argue
friend.
that that's in character
Yeah. Not
for this
trust.
dude. Yeah, so the Blue Walkers, the people of the Ninth City, gather because they don't know how to go back. Like, they don't know if that can happen. However, this is the most lively, like, or like nature-wise, this is the most lively place they've ever seen, because on the horizon they can see hills with grass and a forest way over that way.
That's fair.
Lucian,
Yes.
should we? If they're going to be around for a while, maybe we should make sure to kind of set boundaries, I guess.
Or at least befriend them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
It's your city.
Establish a safe word.
This is my city.
As in,
And-
you run the city.
I don't run it, but I am
Do
the
you know-
head of the congregation of seekers here.
Did you build it?
I'm a respected member of the city. I did not build it,
On rock
but
and
there's a
roll?
reason. There's a reason I was entrusted to track down the font.
yeah.
It's safekeeping, perhaps.
Aye, and I'm going to do as lovely as this place has been. What with all the war and the worms and whatnot. To be fair, I brought the worms were from me. I'll own that one.
You get used to it.
I'm gonna do everything I can and beseech my deity to take us back to our home. I'm not sure if that's possible, to be frank, but
If not,
if
how
not,
would you like a seat at the table?
perhaps that can be arranged. But first, most importantly, and I need to get this back to my people. People are starving. People are dependent on this.
Fair, yes, get
Well,
that to
yeah.
them. Just quick point of order. So, currently, peace between our peoples.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Excellent. Turns around. They're on our side.
Yeah, we're still projected, and everyone's hearing.
What tall avatars are ourselves?
Nope.
The Mimic King strides forward to you, kind of rubbing his shoulders like, oh boy. Yeah, that's
That's gonna ache for a while.
that's heavy.
I wish I had lay on hands. It's like a paladin.
Yeah, it's a
style.
paladin thing.
Yeah.
But he
I mean, I've got some more
approaches
juice in me.
the five of you. Well done. Very good.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Dad.
Your Majesty.
Thank you for not dropping the city on us. That would have been.
Yes, I am deeply grateful.
Yeah, I think everyone is, because that would have been bad
Yeah.
for everyone, including the people that brought it here. Probably.
It appears that this sorcerer you were tracking has done a lot of research into manipulation of the planar shards. I believe that is what he did here with your people. Stitched a piece of your plane into our material plane.
Would certainly seem that way.
And putting them back may be challenging.
Understood. But we are a well-researched people. We are magically capable. And I'm sure with power such as yours at our assistance, anything's possible.
Yes. Although, that took quite a bit out of me. I will be resting.
Oh, it doesn't need to be done in a day.
Oh, good, because we should definitely exchange libraries.
Oh, absolutely. Also, I'm bleeding quite profusely, so...
Oh, I can help you with that
I'm
if
just-
you need.
No, it's alright. I'll just...
My bleeding's internal. That's where the blood lives. It's fine.
All right, so let's take a break, actually. We kind of put it off because we're in the middle of a boss fight, but let's take a break real fast. And,
Oh man, I didn't even realize how late it is.
yeah, I know.
I've had to pee for a while.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that.
You always have to pee first.
All right. Thank you, everybody,
Niagara.
for watching. We'll be back in a little bit to finish off and tie up all the loose ends. See you in a bit. And hello, we are back.
Hello.
So we're just gonna finish up all this stuff. Mainly, I'm interested in, so the Mimic King is very tired out. This took a lot out of him. Before he leaves, you see he kind of has difficulty holding his shape. It kind of loosens and slacks before he heads off back to his castle to recuperate.
Oh.
You did a lot.
Yeah, he held up a city. He not only held up a city, he, like, let it
Gently
come down
forward.
gently. Like, yeah.
He was busy.
A blue walker, so a human with the same blue skin as Shiloh, approaches in kind of a regal attire, a metal breastplate, and holding a pike with a small blue flag hanging off of it. The king requests your presence most
Of course.
humbly,
Of course.
and gives a bow to all 5 of you.
Oh,
Alright, sounds fun.
more kings? Cool.
Hey, we have a king. We're not madmen.
Fair.
things are
I,
Despite what the stories say, right?
Those things are not mutually exclusive.
well, also true.
Fair enough. All right.
I mean, although
Are we
the
making this a council of royals by chance?
Sorry.
Are we perhaps making this a council of royals?
One step at a time. First, come and see the wonders of the Ninth City.
Ooh.
That we
Only
need to
if we
have
can hold hands
a
and skin.
conversation with our people.
Fair.
so the
You have
king
fountains?
has requested you guys to come. You will be all going. Shiloh, obviously,
Yeah.
but
I certainly will be, yes.
Yeah.
wonderful.
I'm looking
And
for
I
plazas.
think we're gonna send messengers out to people and just have them like take the prisoners that they can and
Clean up a bit.
just like hold position for now.
Yep.
As we negotiate with this brand new city state that just literally dropped out of the sky.
Dropped.
Yeah.
Sorry.
all right.
Happens.
Well, you didn't drop it.
Yeah, I guess.
I
So
think.
in the city, you see a
Better
very,
not have.
very nice city. Unfortunately, very badly damaged. A lot of their nicer architecture is broken. So, in this place, the most readily available building material is sand, which kind of sucks for building stuff out of. So, most of the city is made out of colored glass,
Oh,
So yeah,
which
that would
was
definitely
really, really beautiful.
Fuck.
Oh no.
It held
damn
together
it.
surprisingly well, because like it was let down quite gently, and so it held together pretty well. But a lot of stuff is damaged. A lot of things are broken.
So
I have
like if you could-
mending.
Yes,
Oh,
You spend the
still
next
have the
4 years
green.
mending the block.
I believe it has an area of like if the cut break is like a foot long or something.
Yeah, mending's really
Yeah.
tiny.
1 foot in dimension.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I
I
said,
don't
3 years
think-
you'll have this block done.
If, but I mean, like, if the mimic, well, I suppose he's
Well,
too tired
so
now.
the thing is, it was put together with heat by melting it. They can do it again. It'll take a long time, but they can. They can put this back together.
We can rebuild it. We have
We
the
have the
technology.
technology.
But as I walk in, I'm like, oh, pretty glass, and I touch and I mend the foot of whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I can't do more. This is pretty.
We spent a lot of time on this. But to be honest, we were getting kind of bored. This will give us something to do.
One of the civilians that are there see all of you and begins to move forward like, hello, yes, thank you for saving us, and then stops dead in his tracks about 20 feet from you and stops and spits up a bit of blood.
Oh,
Oh
right.
no.
Excuse me. And steps back.
That's all right,
What-
son.
Can I do?
There's- it's honestly, there's nothing that can be done. It is. I said that the water has side effects. Magic does not sit well with certain types of people here, depending on how dependent on the waters they are.
Awkward.
Also, are there any guard folk around?
Yeah, they're already, they like saw that, like, oh,
yeah. Can you march ahead and clear people out of the way just
yeah,
to avoid
we'll see if we can fetch a suppressor.
All right. Thank you, lads.
And they head forward. And about halfway through this just beautiful city that continues to get more and more elegant as you approach. It's not the center that is like the big pinnacle of it. It's basically the entrance is on one side. The entire wall, big thick metal walls of the city go around. And on the exact opposite side of the entrance is the giant palace that is connected to the Grand Library, the Great College, and all of their other higher or most important buildings. Yes. About halfway through your journey through the city, a Blue Walker approaches. Hang off. Halt my thought. What's up, Crunk?
I was looking for plazas.
Fair point.
No, actually.
Oh.
Or not any of the same design. Like, they're definitely different. And also, any fountains you see have no water in them. When the city had lots of water from the font, they were using them, but not during the crisis of not having the font. So about halfway through your journey, a human Blue Walker approaches wearing robes, signs of being some kind of magician of some sort. And he says, I'm here to ease your passage into the city.
Thank you.
Any arcane users, if you would step forward and let me suppress your magical effects to lessen your harm to the people of the city.
It will have no long-lasting damages. Your powers will return to you in full in time. People here are sensitive to it. Side effects.
I see. So Lucian steps forward since he's the only one.
And he...
Well, I use magic too.
Yeah, but you don't use
Divine,
arcane.
right?
It's arcane
Divine.
magic.
Oh.
Yeah, druids are
Is my-
divine.
is
Druids are
Yep, clerics are divine as well. And
Oh.
the way I rule it is because Shiloh's warlock patron is also a divine patron. That's also divine magic.
Yep.
And
Bend the
so
rules.
he clasps his hands together, mutters a few things, and you see that the magic he's about to cast hurts him as he's casting an arcane spell. And he spits up a bit of blood and kind of rubs his head as a headache comes about, and he suppresses Lucian's magical field. This only works if you don't resist. If you try and push back, there's no magic strong enough to just hold down someone's magic entirely, other than like a beholder's like anti-magic field.
No, but
He's-
he's let it happen.
yeah.
Like he's gonna kind of like be analyzing it as it is.
Yeah, you can feel it almost like
How does this work?
like a fog or like a blanket thrown over you. You could push it away if you really want. It's not strong against you. So more than anything, it just keeps it from emanating from you. And you're brought through the rest of the city to
Thank you, friend.
the palace.
Absolutely.
In the palace, you find just major intersection going off to the several different important buildings, the Grand College and the great laboratories and such. Going straight ahead, you enter into the throne room where the king is sat down. You see he's got blood on his armor that he is wearing. Like, he didn't just sit here while everyone was fighting. He was out there and just got back. He's, like, sitting down, like he just jogged back into here to beat you guys to the palace.
I love it.
In the center of the circular throne room, there is a raised part of the floor. A thick, like, inch or two thick piece of glass that forms a polygonal. It's like the top half of a D20, basically. Like this kind of poly half sphere that bulges out of the center of the room, and you can see through it into this empty space that's just an endless pit downward. At the very bottom, you can see just a small reserve of this blue tinted water. And at the top of this pit is a little holder where the font is supposed to go, where it's supposed to just sit upside down and infinitely pour water into this reservoir that is supposed to hold the city's water. And they're just sitting on their last reserve.
I don't even like I walk forward ahead of thing, and like I kind of just wave to my king and just say pleasantries in a second, my liege, and I go straight to put the font in place.
Yeah. You put it in its little pedestal. It's hanging upside down and begins to pour its small but constant stream down into the reservoir.
Oh, I can finally take a breath. All right. And then I kind of right myself, take a step in front of the font, summon the pick, drop to a knee. My liege, High Seeker and First Priestess of Mahavir, at your service.
It was longer than expected, but I'm so glad to see you home.
I will stand. That was quite the journey. And looking, because it's not our sky above us.
No.
Our journey doesn't seem to be quite over yet. But, as Mahavir promised, I extend my hand to the party. Some allies were made along the way. Everyone meets.
We all just
Hey.
We saw your announcement in the sky. Thank
Oh
you
yeah,
very,
that was cool, wasn't it?
very
pretty cool,
much.
right?
We are in a state of small crisis, you could say.
That's putting it nicely.
I guess you could say that.
However, what can we do for you? How can we repay this debt? I spoke momentarily with this Mimic King, and he explained the nature of his intervention. We are eternally grateful. What can we do?
Oh gosh.
Well, I have a bit of an idea.
Please.
Build a plaza.
Sorry?
Build a plaza.
Yes, that will definitely be on the list.
Yeah, we have a list of
I'll
things.
explain that in a bit.
All will be revealed.
I mean, obviously, this is a shock to all of us. No one was expecting your
An
entire
entire
city to appear
to
here.
fall out of the sky.
Yes, that's
Aye.
not exactly normal. But you happen to find yourself in the realm of the Plains people, and it would be an honor to have you as a neighbor and an ally.
Temporary or not.
Indeed.
Preferably not temporary.
Well, we
Plains
got
notwithstanding.
no choice about where we landed, so I do apologize for any inconvenience. But we have been self-sufficient with the font for a very, very long time, so we do not require any of the territories outside of our walls. We claim nothing other than what we have to within our walls.
You can probably have the sand too.
Yeah, I don't want that stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm still kind of a.
But
Not fan of sand.
But an exchange of information would be delightful. I understand your libraries are vast.
oh yes.
We'd love to let our daughter.
And
Yeah.
Oh, she'd love it.
You should meet Maggie.
another reader in amongst our walls would be interesting, I'm sure. We'll need to let Callum know.
Yeah, that guy that we totally
This
No, you don't know him.
that we don't know it at all.
this one may surprise you.
Is she blue?
Me?
Bad.
No.
No,
Maggie.
Maggie.
No, Maggie's red.
Um,
Slightly
Oh.
pink.
You know,
Beautiful.
We will be your grateful neighbors. We have no desire to claim any lands or
That
take
is
any
good.
stake. We just want to be safe.
The Ninth City will stand as it always has. Well, perhaps not as it always has. I was going to say solitary, but neighbors might be nice, my liege.
We
Friendly
certainly
ones
mean
at
you no
that.
harm.
We have never had allies. We have never met any more than a handful of outsiders that would ever dare speak to us.
We're really good allies.
Yeah. And I turn to the
We
king and I
speak
waggle
a
my
lot.
eyebrows like,
We're really good at it.
Particularly thinking of particular four. We are, our pride and joy has been our liberty to knowledge. The place where we come from is quite suppressive for information. We try to better our people with it. It's our pride and joy.
Probably good we killed that one demon, huh?
that would have gone very poorly. Oh, can you imagine? Oh, right.
Obviously, I'm speaking in mimic.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
in purely DM thing, if you had agreed to his first offer, what do you think would have happened? The first offer of the demon that you guys killed was, I will join your side if you give me one city of my choice.
Probably would have taken
So
this.
bad. So bad.
This would have been bad. Yeah.
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 That's
Nothing.
He wrecked his face.
They
Don't worry
killed
about
that
it.
demon.
I would have become the final boss.
Yeah.
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 Y'all
So
would
in
have
the
murdered me in
long
cold blood.
Yeah.
So pretty. I don't want to murder you.
right now.
Yeah, no, it would have gone. Oh man.
Yeah.
We
Wow.
definitely made the right
See,
call
I
there.
called
The
Greg
long
and I.
game.
See?
You had it. Good job.
Damn.
This is why we trust you, though. This is why we believe you when you.
That's why when you said Greg, we went for it.
All
and,
right.
Like we only questioned you afterwards.
As far
All of
as
this is being said in mimic.
negotiations and political communications, we are entirely open to anything you would like to speak to us.
It's perfect. A free exchange of ideas and crafts.
Until
Sounds
a
perfect.
true policy and alliance in paper is made, we want to declare entire, complete neutrality to all outside events.
Sir.
That sounds
Sure.
perfect.
This is
That's all right.
new territory, and
Understandable.
while you have proven to be steadfast allies, I do barely know you. But I would like to get the opportunity to know you and your peoples better.
Yes,
A
as a
friendship forged in
king,
fire, nonetheless, but
as a king,
hopefully
I am a bit
long-lasting
afraid.
friendship.
I have put my life into economics and academics. I have literally never done foreign policy of any kind.
Diplomacy
Oh,
is
we should definitely
an
talk.
arrow in our quiver, as it were.
How?
You're lucky that you're on our side, not
Yes.
someone else, because they might have just thrown that.
We will take this slowly.
Aye.
Absolutely. And, well, our castle
Then-
is right over there. It's
Oh.
not like we're far.
Yeah, see that big castle over there? That's
It's the coolest castle you ever saw, isn't it?
So I
Oh. We do have a dragon. We'll try to keep him off of you guys.
Yeah, we'll
But
talk
if you
to the
see
dragon.
a big green dragon flying around,
Oh,
his name is
we
Bone
saw him.
Keeper. What?
He was the thing carrying one of the worms around in the sky, right?
Yes.
Oh,
that
you've
was
met him. Oh,
I don't think they
That's the
bet.
bone
are
keeper.
we
He's
gonna have room for
delightful.
purple worm in our keep?
Mm,
We'll have
We'll
to
make
room for
room.
him.
We'll make room. It's fine.
Alright.
We can do.
So
Anyway.
DM speak. I'm
I
planning
have
on wrapping
skeletons?
things up. I'm gonna give you guys the floor to finish off anything you want to. The last setting information is for the foreseeable future. The ninth city is stuck here.
Okay.
All right.
And if you look straight up in the sky, because this dimensional piece, this shard of a plane, is extended basically infinitely upward, there's a small sphere in the or not sphere, circle visible in the sky where you see the sky of the home plane of Shiloh and his people. So right now you see the night sky in this tiny little circle, punching through.
So it's night where we are right now. It's just like
Yeah, punching through
Interesting.
the light of everywhere else, and the light like
so we're in like a
comes through.
12-hour set. Oh, that's so cool.
Oh no.
Yeah.
They're all gonna have to get jet
Oh
lag.
yeah, we have. Oh, the entire city's gonna have jet lag.
Yeah, you
They're all
think
gonna
a
just
plane
lean
is
on
bad?
jet
fire.
Yeah, jumping planes is
Actually, this is
really
even
rough.
worse than that. It's literally never going to be dark city. Because if the light
Oh,
is leaking in
no.
during the day, you're going to have a literal spotlight at night.
Yeah, no. It's gonna be awkward.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, this
They
is
do
a
it in
city
Alaska,
of
it'll be
marvels.
alright.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got midnight sun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. All right, so the floor is for you guys. Anything you guys want to close this session up with?
So Shiloh, you guys don't have any forests or animals or anything other than these disgusting worm things?
There are animals, there are
a
creatures,
little
but the sands and the wastes, it's terribly conducive to that sort of life. Anything that's out there is a scavenger or a bottom feeder. But no,
sounds-
for miles and miles as far as the eye can. From the Ninth City and from the city I was in before that, all sand. All crag and waste.
Well, let us introduce you to grass.
Yeah, the fuck is this?
Yeah.
No, wait.
I like apples.
God, what's grass?
Spend one of your daily
Great
powers of
dilemma.
knowing everything to know what grass is. Yeah.
Amazing.
Totally.
You can jack into the Matrix 3 times a day. Is that?
Yeah. So
Effectively.
his or her deity is the deity of secrets and knowledge. So 3 times per day, she can do a knowledge check and automatically succeed at it, and doesn't need to justify her character ever knowing it. Her deity tells her about it.
Wow.
So it can be she can go straight to another plane and immediately go, what is that creature over there? And automatically succeed that knowledge check and get the whole thing. Oh
That's what
boy,
the meaning of life
Laugh
is.
Luff Lindy rated with 25 people. Hello.
Ooh.
Wow, thank you very, very much. Yeah, oh man, it's too bad that we're almost done. We just did the
Yeah.
coolest big
Many
like
things.
mid campaign boss fight. And
It went very well.
yeah.
You can
That's okay, you
rewind,
get 5
guys.
more minutes of my
None of us
shitty Irish
died.
So we're talking about how Shiloh is just grasping what grass is. And the basically last hint that Shiloh gets at the end of this little burst of knowledge is, oh, by the way, grass is like the least important plant of all of the billions of other plants that exist.
Billions.
There's grass and
I know cactuses. That's one I know.
no.
All right, ready?
Do we
Not
even
Sometimes
have
grass
cactuses?
grows really, really tall, and you can cut down and grind it up and bake it, and it's food.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're
that's,
familiar with bread. Okay.
that's a thing, yeah.
Okay.
Look,
I didn't know you had
Okay.
We know
Okay,
what
okay.
bread is.
What about trees?
Is a cactus a tree?
No.
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 Again, no.
Yeah, no, they have like
Well, I mean, I know now.
yeah.
but-
Now she knows. But
I just
basically,
checked.
they've lifted off basically the handful of vegetables that they were able to grow, and their vegetables have
Gotcha.
continued to change as they've only been sustained off magical water. So like the corn is blue,
Yep.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
Chief
Well, I mean,
Sonata.
that exists.
and they've got
It sure does.
purple tomatoes.
I've grown
You're-
those.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
So
It's a weird
Yeah.
civilization, but we've made do. Yeah, it's something that's honestly our biggest infrastructure, our biggest thing we focus on is as the king said, economics and academics are entirely self-sufficient. We've
What
had
is
to-
economics?
trade, money, goods, services.
You just hear
I
in
know
the
about
background
money.
tradespeople.
Oh, yeah. I reach into my
Oh, I
bag,
Oh,
missed
this is
that.
pull
going to
out
be
a giant bar of
perfect.
platinum, and I'm like, here, this is money, right?
Aye.
Here you go.
Don't give them that. They don't need it.
It's fine.
It's
it can happen.
fine.
It's a gift.
whatever.
It's just a gift. We have.
Okay.
Those-
I'm gonna pull out another one. See, like I have plenty of them.
What the?
How many
More
do you
money I've
want?
ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Just in my
That should
hand.
keep you. Yeah.
Like,
He's
you're
like,
the
"Oh,
richest person in the history of your people right now.
You're welcome.
We're
It's like a 10
I'm a
pound
priest, but
bar
I would
of
murder
platinum.
for this amount of money.
Let's
I mean,
be
you
honest.
kind
This,
of just did.
this congregation is pretty lax.
Yeah.
We'll
Nice.
we'll
nice.
have a ton of room.
fair.
That is good for me.
So economics and that could be
Academics.
perfect. We have an entire civilization that just won their freedom, and we could use your expertise.
Possibly. Something that could be arranged.
Yeah, you've got people who the highest level of understanding they have of academics and economics is the lowest tier of bartering.
Yeah.
Like
Bear in
straight item
mind-
for item.
Yeah. Bear in mind that our knowledge is specific to where we come from.
Sure.
For example, referencing 5 minutes ago, I gestured to the gigantic library since there's not a single book in that library that would tell me what the fuck grass is. We have,
We
a
have
lot
books
of,
on grass.
We have
We
a
do.
lot of knowledge at our
Yeah, we
disposal,
do.
but it is
Mostly about
limited in
sand.
Scope. It's mostly about sand and rocks and minerals and sky and stars and theory and art
So-
and literature.
You teach us.
The
we
dwarves are going
teach
to
you.
love that, and the elves.
Maggie's gonna have a blast.
Yeah.
With our powers combined.
I'd be happy to share whatever we have, whatever we
Common
know.
natures.
But I get the feeling we're going to be learning a lot more from your people than you will from us.
I learn from everybody all the time.
Fascinating across the board.
Alright.
All right.
We're
Is
We're
that
sure to set
everything
up
for
some sort of
everybody?
exchange. I'm satisfied.
Well, we
Yeah.
definitely need that
Through
plaza.
school.
As soon
Well,
as we
I didn't
a
get to
plaza.
frolic with Shiloh in the forest yet, but I think for tonight
I
I'm
can
done.
guarantee, as long as Shiloh's okay with that, that will happen at some point.
That can happen some point down
There's
the
going to be
line,
some
I'm sure.
downtime between now and stuff that happens later in the next session. That can happen as long as Shiloh's up for
rest?
that.
Sure.
So next Thursday. Do you know what Thursday is?
Yes.
Okay.
What? The 15th?
Sure.
Sure.
Wait,
I'll
hang on.
take you
hey,
to my
God, what's Thursday? And that's my 3 a day.
And that's 3 for the
Oh,
day.
and you're tapped.
No more knowledge for you unless you.
Okay.
One of 6 unlocked. One of 7 unlocked.
Let's go to my home on Thursday.
Sure.
I'll
Why not?
show you the forest.
If you build
I'll
a
be
plaza,
honest.
we can fast travel.
It's nice to be home, but I may have caught the explorer bug.
You can get back.
I can get back this time.
So
All right.
yeah.
I'll have to learn your dumb stars.
Except the like
Star Wars.
6 that are covered.
Ah. Mwah. That's
Do
All right.
I-
Wonderful. All right, I think we're
we
gonna
all
end it
deserve
here.
a long good rest.
Yeah, I think we.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much,
We all
everyone,
need a
for
nap.
playing. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We have just completed this kind of mid-campaign boss fight, a huge war, entirely changing the face of everything in the valley that the entire campaign has been inside of. The people that were in charge of everything all died.
Yup.
And
By our hand.
now the players basically are in charge of everything. A new city fell out of the sky and is just here now.
What up?
So wait,
As
does
you
that
do.
mean you get to come back?
It means I can come back.
You can, yeah. Shiloh, I imagine, has a lot of work to do now, putting this city back together.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, that's what I was telling you
We'll talk
before. Of it'll make sense
Yeah.
later what the reasoning I will give for why you won't be with them for the rest of the campaign is
I got some shit to do.
Okay.
all
Your
right.
city broke.
So let's say goodbye, each of us saying who you are and what you do on the internet, where people can find more of your stuff, because I'm sure after all of that, people want to see more of your stuff. Let's do it in reverse order. Let's do Than.
No.
Who are you?
All right, so I'm Thanrand on the internet. Everywhere you can find Thanrand, that's me. Mostly Twitter, sometimes Instagram, not really Facebook. Also, I'm on this game every second, fourth, and fifth Tuesday of the month, and then every Friday on the same channel with the Dragon Dark Days, which is our Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaign with Jack. And I'm actually preparing to start streaming from my own channel again.
Yeah, I like that.
So,
Hell yeah.
yeah, I'm finally going to get back around to it. Probably not much. And it probably won't be until December, but it's
But
probably
still
going to be
good.
on Thursday nights,
Nice.
one night a week for now. But hey, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And Denise, or Mets Girl.
I'm Kim, aka Mets Girl, on the Twitters and the Discords and the places. You can find me at Service Desk Podcast. That is my tech for the not tech savvy podcast, where we try to explain things in not so difficult terms so people can understand all of the technology in the world. And then you can find me on Beholder's Eye podcast as Zalara, my wood elf monk that I got confused with earlier. And then I'm here the second, fourth, and fifth Tuesdays.
Awesome. And Griffin.
Yeah, either works. I've been Griffin. Thanks again for having.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party. To play with you guys. I can be primarily found over at the Another Path Actual Play podcast. Swag represent.
I got some too.
Yeah. It's a D&D 5e actual play podcast featuring myself and 3 other gentlemen. We branded as a theatrical tabletop podcast. We all have theater backgrounds and try to put a heavy emphasis on narrative and role play while also still maintaining the sanctity of the game. We release episodes every other Thursday. And my friend Zach, who was in the chat earlier and who was on the show with me, we just released a brand new show, which actually dropped while we were streaming this. So the first episode of Zach and Griffin's Multiversal Pet Shop is now live at petshopcast.com.
I know a lot of
Zach
people in
and
Welcome to the Party who would love that.
Zach and I take on the role of small business owners, where we run the pet shop of the multiverse and cater to its denizens, and debate the validity or lack thereof of creatures from the Monster Manual as household companions. It's a fun
Nice.
time. It's a lot more just sort of comedy and a weird meta narrative than Another Path. It's mostly just an excuse for us to be goofballs. But yeah, you can find Another Path at Another Path Pod on Twitter, at Pet Shop Cast for the Pet Shop Show, and then I am at Griff Cold on Twitter. Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks again
And
for having me, guys.
Lucian.
Hey everybody, I am Capjack. I have been your resident knight. You can find me all over the place here on Welcome Party. I am, of course, here second, fourth, and fifth Tuesdays with the Mimic Knights, and alternating Thursdays. This coming Thursday is our Pokemon 5th edition game where I played the Taker, who likes to kick Pokemon and take names. And then alternating that is our Shadow drop-in, drop-out Shadowrun game, run by Shogun. And that's where I play my namesake, Capjack. But yes, you laughed about the kick Pokemon take names. We are so the bad guys. And one of our favorite things in the world to do is make our poor DM cry and throw away literal weeks of planning in 30 seconds.
Yeah, he's like, I got this
Terrible
awesome
people.
gym battle that will counter all this cheese that you guys have been throwing at me. So we literally break the building in half.
Ah, nice.
Yup. Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And then Friday nights with Thanran, Dragon Dark Days campaign. So yeah, stop in, visit us, and there's gonna be coming in the new year. So
Yeah.
join the Discord if you're not already there. Oh, somebody already dropped a Discord link earlier, but I'm gonna do it again anyway because I can.
Yay, Discord.
But yes, come join us, join games, hang out. We would love to see all of you.
All right, and Win.
Hey, so I am One Sama-chan in the Discord, and on Twitter I'm Mimic Sama-chan. And this is my main gig, but I think is it Mondays? I think it's Mondays I'm gonna start doing another game
Ooh.
every week on here, actually.
Are you going to
I
be
don't know
joining
where-
the new player game, or are you going to be? Is there another
No,
thing going on?
I can't remember if it's Mondays for sure.
Okay, but
but,
you're joining with the midday games.
It's gonna be starting at 12 p.m. Eastern time.
Ooh.
Or
Okay.
no, 12 a.m. 12 a.m. My bad.
Oh.
Oh, we're doing
Yeah,
late
so
night
it's
game.
the
Okay.
late night game.
Okay.
Late. Okay.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I'll get more information on that because I haven't been paying attention to exactly what it's supposed to
Hey,
be.
Awesome.
But
I'm going to watch
yeah,
for that.
you guys can catch me later. How about that?
I'm going to look for that because you're an
Yeah.
awesome player.
Oh, thank you.
Very truth.
And
Gosh,
I
I played-
am Shogun, Shogun117 on Twitter. I am the DM for this game, which is every second, fourth, and fifth Tuesday of each month. I run Shadowrun, which is every other Thursday. Here, the Shadowrun game is a drop-in, drop-out game where you don't have to commit to a long-form campaign or anything. You can drop in literally for just one session if that's all you have time for. Jump in the Discord and you can talk with me and I can help you make a character. We're doing 4th edition. So character creation is a little complicated, but so diverse. You can make nearly anything. I've literally, within the rules, not breaking any rules, made Spider-Man in those rules. So
Lovely.
it's really good. And then I also play in the Pokemon games that are the other Thursdays that we don't have Shadowrun, where I play as Amelia, which is the team leader for Team Crossbones. We use this just viciousness throughout the whole thing. My Jigglypuff, my main Pokemon, has a Switchblade. So, yeah. Yeah. And that's it for me, other than perhaps upcoming stuff that's like around the beginning of the next year. New stuff's coming around, which I'm very excited for. Yeah, so that's everything. Goodbye. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Thank you very much, Griff Cold, for joining
Especially
us.
For watching all the way through
thank
all
you.
of
Thank you
our
for having
Very
me. This was
appreciated.
great.
We're gonna
It's a lot
go-
of fun.
Raid Dumpstat Charisma in a couple of
Hey,
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Goodbye, everybody. That was very wonderful having you here. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye now.
Did we?
All
okay,
right.
we went.
We're at